Hello, everyone, and welcome to the OddWadPod with Dominic and Kyle. But today we have a very, very special guest. You may know him as Mason2G. You may know him as Mason Great, Mason Too Great, Mason Too Good. It's Mason Gata. Hello, Mason Gata.
Hello.
Oh, Gaffman too. He's Gaffman.
Oh, Gaffman.
Yes. Yeah, he's
For those who watched the first episode.
Yeah, who watch with their ears.
Their ears?
It's all right.
Yeah, well, sometimes I watch with one ear because I'm deaf in the other one.
We didn't know that the first episode,
We
so thank you
didn't.
for revealing more lore.
And you will all forget like everybody else does.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's a somewhat important piece of lore, too.
It is, but like you would be like my parents forget, like, you know, if I'm with someone, they forget. Unless they're walking with me, because then everybody like just kind of instinctively knows now to be on my right side.
Mm-hmm.
But like
I never do it. Like,
I
I
know.
always fuck up, and I'm like, oh, I'm on your left side.
Yeah, well, Dominic and I don't really walk together that much. So.
Yeah,
I remember when we would walk, we'd always be flip-flopped, and then, like, as we were walking, you would switch sides.
Yeah.
I'd be like, why is he switching?
I get so uncomfortable not being able to like hear people that well, so I just cram myself, and usually I get crammed into like a railing or like the edge of the sidewalk or like into a locker, but it's always worth it because I love hearing you guys' beautiful voices.
That's so kind. I was gonna say, I realized half of us kind of have like a disability.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm a diabetic, Mason has a bad ankle.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
I'm
Kyle's deaf, and I think that's half.
and Dayton is a twink.
So Jay is the only good one.
Jay's the only good one.
The only healthy one here.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so kind of to run down what we're going to do in this episode. So a new little segment that we're going to do every episode is a life update. So we're just going to kind of go between the three of us and just like say, hey, what's up? What happened in our life?
Mm-hmm. What happened this week?
We're still going to do the end battle thing. So those are the two like consistent segments.
Right.
And then our big topic for the day is overrated and underrated characters. So throughout all media, doesn't matter. It could be wrestling. It could be food. I just thought about that, like overrated foods.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's not something that we really talked about, or like I sent a message.
Yeah,
about,
I made a list of the examples you made because I thought we were just gonna do those.
That's what I thought too. So we could just stick to those examples.
We can do it all. We can literally
do it all. But yeah, just like overrated and underrated characters in media all over the place.
Yeah,
Like,
we'll start with the list and then we'll just get more and more obscure.
Right. Eventually, we'll just go down to like underrated molecules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Underrated office supplies.
Honestly, the pencil.
Electrons.
The pencil is very underrated because people use pens now.
Yeah.
I got a lead pencil right here.
See?
Taking notes.
Doesn't count.
See,
All right.
I just type everything on my iPad. I don't have an iPad.
That's right, you zillennial.
Zillennial.
All right, I guess I'll go first with my life.
Yeah.
I guess I'll volunteer myself.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, what a kind host.
Wow.
Yeah.
Guest.
It's the guy who edits. And
It's
Here's
the guy who
suggests
does
podcasts.
everything for the podcast.
The guy who well, excuse me, I bring my own mic.
This is true. This is true.
Yes.
I couldn't record you without your mic. So thank
or
you.
me right now.
Or-
I'm
yeah.
We're sharing a mic.
They're sharing a
yeah.
mic. So if we didn't have audio problems in the first episode, we'll definitely have audio problems in the second episode.
Perfect.
Could we
Yay.
officially call this episode 2G? Like when it goes up, could it have a 2G?
No doubt, it will
Good.
definitely be
Thank
called
you so
episode
much.
2G.
I'm much appreciative of these odd wads.
So it's so weird because when you publish the podcast, you have to give like your tax information. You have to give like a bunch of just like weird like IRS stuff.
In case you make money.
In case I make money, I don't.
Making money.
I might be making 5 cents. I don't know. Like,
Are you keeping it all? Or are we splitting? How do we split
1
that?
cent per
we'll
viewer.
split it. Like if I get like more than $1, then sure, I'll split it. I don't know if you want
You
50
get-
cents.
I might. Okay.
Yeah,
This is
if we
America.
get
I
$2,
want
I will split the dollar.
Sweet.
Well, I'm getting paid for this episode, correct?
All the episodes that you're featured on, those are the episodes that you're getting financial compensation for.
Thank you so much.
So if this episode is the biggest episode,
It just might be out of the 2 episodes.
there's gonna be
Because I get
more.
to advertise about it.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is true.
Also, as I get to advertise through Mason2G on Snapchat. That is MASON, the number 2, and then G on Snapchat.
God damn it, that will probably make a big difference.
Yeah, no, literally.
You're welcome.
But yeah, I had to put out like all this tax information in, and it was just like so complicated. And I was like so upset. I don't know where I was going with that. I lost it. All right. Oh well. So yeah, I already said the thing about the sound thing. Yeah, I guess the big thing that happened this week was my short film that I was cast in got canceled.
Oh,
Aw.
damn. Would you get cast in?
So
Talk about it.
one of the guys I acted with in my first short film, not the one I did for Jay, but the one I did like by myself.
Yes.
He's also a director,
Cool.
and he lives on the west coast of Michigan, not the west coast of the United States, obviously.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah, like he lives in California.
Yeah.
No, but he lives in like Grand Haven or South South Haven. That's where it was going to be shot. And
It's not as grand.
not as grand. It's just more south.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a haven.
Yes.
Just southern folk.
But yeah, he wasn't getting enough support. Like he had like a GoFundMe, and that didn't get enough money. And then the actress that he cast dropped out.
Oh.
Yeah, and so it was
Why
just.
didn't you just fill her role as well? Just do
Well, I tried to
roles.
reach out to my ex-girlfriend, second removed,
Oh.
and
Oh, okay.
Okay, yeah.
yeah, and because she, yeah,
Yeah, no, we get it.
over there, yeah,
Yeah.
and
Oh, okay.
that didn't work out. Yeah, she goes to college over there, so
Yeah.
yeah, and so that didn't work out. But that's all right. I mean, he has another one coming up in December, so maybe I'll do that one instead.
We'll do that one instead.
Right,
Very
and that
nice.
one I think I was gonna be compensated too.
Oh.
I know, which is kind of upsetting, but that's all right. The second big thing I saw. Do you know the band The Who?
Yes.
I saw The Who with my father.
That's
Who are you?
Who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
Great band. Their sound was bad. They're 70-year-old men. They can't really
Right.
like belt like they could.
Yeah.
At just like old rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But also their audio was messed up. So like if they were talking, it was like they were talking like this. I don't know if this like translates, but like
Yeah,
it's like they're
they were
off the microphone. Like,
far away.
yeah, they're far away. You can't really hear it.
Okay.
But what really like bugged me was one of the songs they had. It was just like an instrumental thing, and they had like 2 videos on the side of like it started at like the Vietnam War, and it made its way all up to today, and it was showing just like how presidents were corrupt, leaders were corrupt, everything sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they showed Donald Trump played and everyone cheered
Oh, gee.
Yeah.
Wait, in a good way or a bad way?
in
So
a
if
good
they're sh- if
in
they're
a
show-
in a good way. The people around me at least were like, "Yeah, woo!
as in like he's messed up, or like we love him.
We love him." They were like,
Oh.
yeah,
damn.
yeah, like you could
Shit.
tell.
That's
Okay.
hilarious.
But it's like
But
they didn't
bad.
get the and they showed Biden too, and
No. Well,
and
who's
there
cheering
there wasn't really a reaction for him.
Respectfully, who's cheering for Biden? I voted for
Right.
him. But like,
No.
Too, but like that was the only option.
yeah, literally.
But like the point was they didn't fucking get it. Like it was like showing how all of these people and all these icons were like corrupt.
Yeah.
Like it showed Nixon, it showed Reagan,
Yeah.
it showed literally every president. It showed Queen Diana dying.
Ooh.
Not like her actual dying, but like it showed like Princess. Did I say Queen Diana?
Yeah.
Princess Diana. My
Should
bad.
have been Queen Diana.
Should have been Queen.
Could have been.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda.
They just didn't get the point
No.
of the video, and it's just like, how stupid can you be?
How dumb can you be?
And then my last piece of trivia. This was I wrote this before I knew Mason was coming on the podcast. The Universal Championship number 2 is on the line tonight. The inaugural champion, wrestling nerdy stuff. You know.
Hell yeah. I'm gonna win that mother effer.
Oh my god.
And we're finally gonna settle the case of the FW Universal
One.
original championship. If I finally like beat the tiebreaker that we are in. We've been in this tiebreaker for a month, technically. Okay, that's why the final champ, hasn't been decided. I'll let you cash in your money in the bank, and I think Jay is at the point where she'll let you cash in also.
I'm fine. I might cash in tonight for number 2, because if I'm the first for the first one and the second one,
That's pretty cool.
that's pretty saucy.
And then you won't cash in when I beat Jay to keep the original FW championship.
Right, because that belt doesn't matter anymore. That belt doesn't exist.
It matters to me.
I already have Adam Cole's signature.
It matters to me.
No, it does matter to me too, because I should have been champion.
What if you guys broke the tiebreaker by just wrestling each other?
Then I would be your FW. Those are
Fun
bold words, though.
fun fact, or do you want to tell this fun? You're a black belt.
Second degree black belt.
Second
Oh,
degree
yeah.
black.
I
So
forgot about that.
Mason could kick all of our asses in real. You know what? This is gonna make the final, like the us versus at the end, so
Oh,
much
yeah.
easier.
Right, because we just
Because
throw
Mason can just
Mason.
like kick everyone's ass.
Yeah.
While we just shoot everyone in the head.
we all bring guns, and Mason just is wearing a blindfold and like absolutely like kicking ass.
Okay, let me be honest. It's been a few years since I've earned my second degree black belt, but I like to think it made me the man I am today.
It's so funny because it's one of those things that like you talk about, but I'm always like, man, Mason's just a regular guy. Like Mason's just a dude.
I've
who's
seen
just-
it in action.
What?
Whoa.
What? Who did you fight?
Who did I almost fight?
Oh, fuck lords have had some interesting times.
Lords have had some interesting trials and tribulations.
Okay. Gotcha.
Especially in this very room.
Right over there.
I think the
He's
I
pointing towards my bed.
think the only
Hey, yo. Fighting for my life in that bed.
the only fuckwad I've really fought is probably Dominic when he tried to drown me, and kick me in the balls.
I want to say I'm sorry for the 12th time.
I'll never forgive you.
It's okay. I'm just a shitty person, and I think we've learned that all today.
See, he can take accountability, but what he can't do is change.
You're damn right. I'm changing now. It's fine,
Damn straight, brother.
brother. All right. Who's next? Do you want to go last or do you want to go
You
second?
can go next, Mason. I got some pretty big-ish updates, so go crazy.
Oh, okay. So mine aren't going to be as big as Kyle's.
They might be fucking huge. I don't know.
Maybe I should start with telling everyone a little bit about myself.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yeah.
say.
My first appearance on the podcast.
Right. I think we should do that for everybody.
Yeah.
Now, I'll take note of that.
So my name is Mason2G.
What's the 2 stand for?
So this will be big news. Your first big reveal on the podcast. Breaking news. So my middle name starts with a Z.
Oh.
You could guess what my middle name is if I say it starts with a Z.
It's Zoe.
Zoe 101. Exactly.
Yeah. And what's 1
So
plus 1?
when I made my Snapchat in like 7th grade, okay, I just wanted a number in the username. Because this is like one of my original like social media. I think it was my first one ever. Because I think I got Instagram later. It was like I made my Snapchat like one day in 7th grade. And I was like, made it, had it for a day. I don't know how to use it. And I deleted it. And then it wasn't until like maybe a year later I actually started using it again.
And it was
Already Mason2G.
It was always Mason2G?
It's always Mason2G. I've never, still my original Snapchat account. I get memories from 6 years ago in that bad boy. Cause, you know,
I
it's
think
like
I
when
do too.
Started. Yeah,
I also
it's
got
weird, isn't it?
I got a 5-year memory, which I'll tell later.
Ooh, okay. Were we all in this 5-year memory? Have we been friends for that long?
Yes.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah, because okay.
God, we're
J-
old.
we
We've been
are-
friends for longer than.
Yeah.
Just to call back
It's a
to first
flex.
episode, when Kyle and I were talking about like when we first met in my room. 5 years ago today, I moved my bed down here.
Wow.
So it was. I just moved my bed in the middle.
That's right, because wow, well, because you're on your 4th year of college. I finished my 4 years of college.
4 years?
Yeah,
Oh, God, college is weird.
Yeah.
college.
Sucks.
Never been there.
I'm happy for you, honestly. But if you write out 2, because you can write a 2, like as one line. I don't know how to explain
No,
writing.
it makes
So
sense.
you can do the 2 with the little swirl in the middle, but if you don't, it looks like a Z.
So I'm looking.
Mason2G.
If you look at Mason's shirt right now, so
Yes.
for wrestling, I made us all shirts, and I have Mason's. It says M2G on it,
Yeah.
but right now it looks like MZG,
Which are my initials.
which is his initial. It makes sense.
Hence the birth of Mason2G on Snapchat. I'm trying to clap away from the mics. I don't know, Kyle, this is your mic. I'm not trying to damage it.
It's all right.
It's
It looks,
gonna be
it looks
fine.
normal.
But
I have this thing in front of it that I don't even know if it does anything.
For protection.
It was a little bit crispier than
Yeah.
my microphone, so I guess I have to get myself one of those too.
Yeah, but I still laughed into it like a hyena, and I think it broke our sound barriers.
It's all right.
Mhm.
And also, once again, if you hear anything in the background like dogs or people talking that aren't us, that's because this isn't a professional podcast.
Yes.
This is
Yeah.
Big wall.
I know.
Spoiler. Big surprise.
I know I don't have foam covering these walls, but yeah, instead of 2 of us talking, shooting the shit, it's 3 of us talking,
And this is
shooting the shit.
my most professional podcast I've been on.
Have you been
Wow.
on more unprofessional podcasts?
No, this is just my first one. But a quick story of where I fit into the OddWad lore,
OddWad.
which means listen to the first episode if you haven't already. Okay, if you're coming from my side of advertising, Mason2G on Snapchat, you gotta listen to the first episode, then the second episode to know where the story fits in. So I met Kyle, a year before you met Dominic?
Yeah, because
Because I'm the grade in between them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right now there are 3 generations sitting in this room.
Yes.
And by generations, I just mean ages.
yeah,
We're all
there are 3
boomers.
ages.
We're all almost boomers. I say over 21 is boomer territory.
Yeah,
So
that's
Kyle's
right, you
been a
boomers.
boomer.
I've-
I just turned a boomer, actually.
I'm not a boomer yet.
Dominic's getting there, though.
So close.
Yeah. What movie is going to come out around your birthday? Do you know yet?
The new Spider-Verse movie.
Damn, that's a good one.
Right?
Oh,
Yeah, it's
cool.
quality.
Very good one,
Quality.
actually.
So by the time that movie comes out, Dominic will be officially christened as a boomer.
I
He's
will
gonna
be able
get
to.
drunk at Spider-Verse.
I was gonna say I'll be able to drink alcohol and smoke marijuana.
Whoa.
I know, because Biden just accepted
goodness.
everyone to do it.
Yeah, did that pass, or is he just trying to get it to pass?
I thought it was like an executive
He's trying to pass.
action. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
I think he's trying to get it to
pass.
pass. But soon, when we'll know because everybody will go outside and light up.
And then Joe Biden will be on the Joe Rogan podcast.
I would love that. That would be.
So
extra
it's not Spider-Verse. Apparently, it's Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh well,
Still
still
banger.
very good.
Option,
Still
yeah.
very good.
Still
yeah.
a banger. Sorry we keep interrupting you.
Oh,
That's kind of
no.
how that's kind of how this
No.
goes.
This
Yeah.
is your first episode with a guest on it.
This is
so
our
yeah,
first
this is
episode
the-
with 3 people.
I'm always the guinea pig run for things.
Pretty much.
It's because you're just so good at fitting in and being a great improviser.
Great.
Mason2G.
Great.
Great. No, but I'm always in like the shit version of something. Not saying like this
Hey.
is but not attaining to the podcast, but just other things I've worked on in my life. It's like I'm always the shit one.
It wouldn't be
And then-
shit if you had your own microphone.
But then I'll be in like I'll like leave and then like say this thing happens again and then it's really good. And I'm like, it's really good because I was in it first.
So that means
When it was
that
shit.
after this episode, it's gonna get real good.
Yeah.
Well, no. This is great. This is the second episode.
We're gonna not name so many names
Yeah.
from now on,
Yes.
just because like stories can hurt people
Stories.
emotionally.
And
This might
financially and career wise.
Are you able to like bleep out names if we say them? Because that would be hilarious.
I will do that. Yeah.
Can I just like for fuck's sake, just for giggles like just name off like a bunch?
Jesus Christ. Go ahead. Fine. Get it all in your system.
What the
You
fuck?
bastard.
What was our boss's name? What was her last? The fridge. You gotta keep in the fridge part though. So it's just like bleep the fridge. Bleep.
Oh my god.
What was his mom's name? Trisha. Is that too soon? What else can I say? Chadwick Boseman.
Chadwick
In
Boseman.
a way, R.I.P. Queen Elizabeth. The second. The second? She's a second? The
She
one
is
who
a
just
second.
died?
There was one
Yeah.
before her.
So Mason2G. Queen
What-
Elizabeth II. Who's better? It's me.
So is that your update? Is that your life update?
Oh, I didn't even do an update.
Yeah.
So I go to bleep bleep university as an acting major. I'm working on a show right now. I'm working on She Kills Monsters.
Ooh. Seen that one.
I got cast in the role as DM Chuck Biggs,
Stealing my gimmick.
which I'm going to ask you for help on this because I need do some dramaturgical work.
Oh,
for
shit.
Some character study.
That's
things.
okay. I have the D&D.
I'll be asking you about the D&D, brother.
He acts like he's never played D&D with us.
He's
I've never been the DM.
Yeah, he's never been
So
the one
like,
scrambling to find answers.
I need to learn like what dice to roll and like.
And he's
character
asking
sheet
me
stuff.
who's used a D4, a D20, and a D6.
Yeah.
They gave me a bunch of dice, and I was like,
For
I don't
free?
know what to do with half. No, just like for props. They were like, yeah, the props are in the prop locker, and I looked at them, and
Lame.
I was like, they had like a big ass bag of dice,
Oh, yeah.
like different sets of dice.
Mm-hmm.
That's
It was
one.
pretty. It was real pretty. Like, cause I have like 2 sets of dice. But it
Oh,
was like
that's
a
sweet.
bag because
Yeah.
theater
'cause-
people. Of
right.
course, we play
Of course they
D&D.
have D&D.
Of course.
Yeah, we're
Makes-
all
They were,
makes
like,
sense.
D&D experts. One of our rehearsals, actually, I guess I'll talk about this. We spent that rehearsal just playing D&D.
Oh, that's so much
we
fun.
split our
God.
because in our cast there's like a lot of people, so we
Yeah.
split it up into 2 groups, and each of them had a different like one-shot D&D thing.
And you
it
were
was
Tim
really
Horton.
fun. And I was Tim Horton, and the dice I grabbed out of the special dice bag was just a red die with white numbering on it, and it looked like a Timmy's cup.
Oh, that's perfect. That's literally perfect.
This is another good thing to introduce about myself. I'm addicted to Tim Hortons. I used to work there. You used to work there.
See, okay,
Mr.
so
Kyle.
this entire thing with Mason being addicted to Tim Hortons, I think about this every day. It's my fault.
It is.
It's literally my fault. Before this, he didn't give a shit about.
I didn't drink coffee at all.
He didn't drink coffee, and then I was like, "Hey, Mason, like we need people to hire." They didn't even give you an interview. They hired you on the spot from my word.
I came in for the interview, and the manager, I don't remember her name.
I
but
don't
at the
remember.
time, she was in like such a rush.
Oh, yeah.
And she was like, honestly, yeah, just take this and fill it out. I believe Kyle.
Yeah, literally.
I got hired.
Yeah,
No interview.
And then you worked there.
First job, no interview.
First job?
First job, no
That's
interview.
amazing.
Yeah, because I wasn't working at.
Right,
Yeah.
and so
I'll say it.
I really hope we bleep that one out.
I think we will.
Yeah, we work at party number 2 now versus party number 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so but yeah, no, because of that, Mason's been addicted ever since, and I've just been pledged with guilt.
I actually. So another fun fact about me, if you guys listen to the first episode, I also used to work at Home Depot with our hosts Dom and Kyle.
Another connection between all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yes, we were very connected in many ways, but I had to go back to school, and I didn't want to work there anymore, so I quit. I made about 2 G's, okay, because they do call me Mason2G. And then the next
Is that
year
the
of
maximum
school-
amount of money you can make?
Yeah,
2 G's. You can't make
Honestly,
anything.
Sadly, probably.
that's why he has to go from job to job.
Yeah,
to
that's
make
why I
2
bounce
Gs.
around. I think I'm almost at the 2G limit for party number 2.
Yeah,
Princess Party
that
Company
makes
number 2.
sense.
But I'm getting sidetracked. What the hell was I just talking about? You're
You're working at
host.
Home Depot.
Working at Home Depot,
And then you had to quit.
So that next, because I got cast in a show, hey yo, but it was the same schedule, like rehearsal schedule was the same, like work schedule. So I really couldn't work there anymore. But that whole year and into that next summer, I spent it all. Damn.
Yo,
And I did the
same.
math from about at least October to like, what was it? Like September, like that year. I spent about like $370 on Tim Hortons.
Whoa.
And this is why I'm not in the shape I want to be in.
I'm.
On a sad note,
At least it's not
we can
in the
sidetrack
thousands.
from that.
There.
Oh,
Hey, to be
we're getting there, brother.
to be fair, my first credit card I maxed out by just buying food in between classes.
No way.
Yes.
Yeah.
It'll get you.
It'll get you like
It's crazy.
because I was like so hungry and I wasn't thinking and I was like, you know what, it's fine. I've got like so much money on this. And one day I'm like trying to get sushi and they're like, yeah, your card's maxed out. And I was like, oh.
What?
And I've been paying it off ever since because I'm too lazy to just like I could pay it off right now, but I just pay it monthly because I'm lazy.
And that I think that builds credit.
It builds so much credit.
I'm gonna buy a house someday.
Literally.
That credit.
No, they're gonna be like, wow, your credit score is fucking phenomenal. You're at like a 100 credit score.
That's great.
It's great. But as for what I did this week, I was at school all week. I had rehearsal. And it's fun. It's fun. Come see the show. Fuck it. It's October 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. It might be 27 through 30. I think all the shows are at like 8 o'clock. No intermission. Shows we're trying to run 90 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah. And so we're performing in the Oakland West Campus atrium, which was formerly the Baker College Student Center.
Is that the place where I've seen you guys act before? Or no? Is that a different place?
No, that building's under construction.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
Varner
we're-
Balls.
Varner Balls is under construction. So
Varner
yeah, we're
Balls.
at the formerly Baker College Student Center, now called the OWC, the Oakland West Campus.
Well, now I have to go there
And
because I've
it's,
never
so
been
it's
there.
kind of like in a found space. It's a huge space.
I was gonna try to.
So it's going to be like a lot of like we have to place chairs.
So
around.
it isn't a circle anymore, or is it still a circle, or what's going on?
It's kind of in thrust.
Ooh.
In a way, I would say 3/4 because we're kind of in the corner, and the set is going to be huge. I don't even spoil anything. It's going to be really cool.
I'm excited to
It's
see it.
exciting.
I'm excited to not be able to find the building because I'm not used to it.
So
To
while this is like
advertise, there's mystical elements. It's magical.
it's D&D.
There's a lot of fights. It's just like D&D, and then Mason2G is the DM. I mean, come on now, you gotta come see the show. Tickets are probably
$1 billion.
they're probably $1 billion, but not as expensive as Meadowbrook ticket. I'll say that right now. But yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Very good.
Sweet.
I like it.
I love it. I want some more of it.
Well, I'm planning on more. Oh, another fun thing I did this summer, I worked a
This summer, home slice.
I know we were talking about like last
This
week.
week, it's a
okay.
weekly
Yeah, but
update.
I did my first like professional theater show over the summer, and
Never mind, I do wanna hear about
I
this.
want to shout it out. I worked at Wishing Well Theater in Fenton. It's their second year of being like around. Last year they did Much Ado About Nothing, and then
Were you in that one?
no. But a bunch of people from Oakland were in it.
Yeah.
And it was like
Is that how you learned
building
about
that connection. Yeah,
Nah,
exactly.
Cool.
So I was Demetrius in A Midsummer Night's Dream there, and it was my favorite theater show I've done because it was outside and it was funky.
Let me just say,
Funky.
I saw it. You
I
didn't
get the chance.
you were working.
I didn't
working.
let people know early enough.
No,
I saw it.
So I'm just like that.
Banger show.
Crazy.
Like-
so fun.
Like every time I see Mason in a show, it like kickstarts my passion for acting.
Oh.
Like it can literally just be like, oh, I see you in a 5-minute part in a show, and it's like, oh shit, I want to do that.
Yeah.
but that's like all of you guys. That's you, that's Kyle, and that's Mason. That's Jay directing. Like that's everything.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh god, because I'm not doing it, and I need to do it, and I feel bad for not doing it.
spreads.
But I'm also planning on working 40 hours, so then I can move.
Yeah.
by
Same.
by Memorial.
There's a goal in mind.
There's a goal for
goal.
me.
for you.
Yeah.
I'm also trying to reach the goal. I'm just not as stacked as Dominic.
Yeah, he
and
doesn't have the
Cash.
bands that I do.
Oh, fair
No.
enough, fair enough.
I
Yeah,
like-
you may be 2G, but I'm 20 Gs.
Ugh.
At least.
At least.
I'm like 7 G's.
I'm at like $500.
That's all right. You don't work consistently like we do.
Yeah.
Consistently is a bad.
Consistently.
Because Home Depot consistently.
Yeah, because I just for right now since I'm in school, I work at Princess Party Company number 2, and they book me every once in a while.
Yeah.
I actually
that's
have 2 fat stack bookings coming up. So
Oh,
like,
is-
so that's gonna last me like the rest of the year.
Is that the October 22nd event?
Yes, and I
Yeah.
also have an event I think on the 21st,
Yeah.
which is the same amount of length.
Are-
So
Are you also involved?
No, because I will be in Maine.
That's
That-
right.
She asked me if I could do
yeah.
it, and I was like, yeah. I'm gonna
be in
Yeah, sorry, I
gone.
can't make bank. I'll be spending all my money on lobster and
It's a big old
seaside
event.
views.
It'll be cool. I'm gonna be Batman. I'll just say that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I actually can't use that character because he's copyrighted. So your Bat character.
Yeah.
Wait, how the fuck?
Well, yeah,
are...
they can't use
how
the
the
character either. He's probably Bat Hero or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we can talk about it. I'm just
I was
just messing around.
Well, they don't have the rights to it either. He's probably Bat Hero.
Yeah, actually, Mason, if you look in the contract, whenever you post about it or advertise for it, you are not allowed to say the name.
This is coming. This is said by the guy who would post photos of himself as Batman and the Joker and all over social media. He actually went to a video store as Batman.
I would go everywhere in those costumes.
Even though you weren't supposed to.
Yeah. This is me saying, "Oh, I was a Batman, now Batman," on a podcast. No one's gonna see this anyway.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I'm kidding. I'm living the dream right now.
So before your update,
Yeah.
I just want to give an in-time current update.
Okay.
Got a text from ex-girlfriend second removed.
Uh-huh.
Just for the record, she broke up with me.
Okay.
She just texted me and just said, "Very cool, you're doing the podcast."
Oh, so she's listening to the first episode.
She's listening to the first episode. Everyone's listening to the first episode. You should find friends to tell about
the first episode.
to listen to the
We
first
should have
episode.
a listening party.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Except you should all open it individually on your phones and start it at the same time.
Yes.
Yes, so then we can
And then
get more.
Out of time.
And then
So
tweet
It's got
about
like a
it.
cool echo effect.
And then tweet about it. Follow OddWadPod on Twitter.
Yeah.
Take a screenshot of you listening to it. And post
Ooh.
it on Twitter.
Yeah, and then send it to
What's
Twitter.
that app that you just talked about?
Be real.
Twitter.
No.
Be real.
Oh, this was before the podcast.
B-roll, yeah.
Be real.
Be
I'm
real.
not
Post it on
downloading
Twitter.
Be real.
Take a picture of you guys listening. Well, they'd have to take pictures of their friend's phone.
Well, yeah,
on
that's why
Be
you get a
Real.
friend, so then you can listen.
Yeah.
So then you can take a picture of them.
And
on
then they
their
open
phone.
up Be Real after you take the Be Real of their phone, and then they can take the Be Real of their phone, listening to the OddWadPod.
But for real, thank you, ex-girlfriend second removed.
Wow.
You're very cool. I appreciate it. And yeah, I just wanted to set the record straight. All right, Kyle, what's going on with you?
Literally nothing.
Oh, his big revelation.
No, actually some stuff. I just got back from my friend's wedding. I don't know if I don't know if I should say her name. I think it's safe to say her name.
Do they have any quarrels against you?
Yeah, actually the wedding was
they were at
terrible.
the
I
wedding.
I
Oh,
object.
no.
I objected at the wedding, so I don't know.
There you go.
No, it was my friend Sierra's wedding. She married Noah, and it was really nice. It was in Zealand, which is right next to Grand Rapids, and it was in a little barn, and it was really sweet. And me and Jay went there, and we had a really good time. It was good to see her go up. She's going to Japan. She's literally like...
That's actually kind of crazy, though.
Yeah.
Because they, like, just opened up.
Japan. Yeah, Japan. I like how we talk about Japan like it's a fast food restaurant.
Yo, they just opened one down the corner?
Yo, dude, we should go. We should go to
Opened up,
Japan.
like COVID-wise, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, because...
I think they're being threatened right now to be bombed. So hopefully, if you guys are in Japan, be safe. And take care of yourselves. I also got randomly, I was at work one day and a community theater that I had worked for hit me up and was like, hey, one of our actors dropped. Will you please like act for us? And I was like, yeah,
That's
sure.
cool. That's so cool.
I know. And I was like, I have so many conflicts with your schedule. And they were like, we simply do not care. And I was like, whatever works. And I'm trying to work on a director's pitch to hopefully direct for them. So hopefully by showing that I can come in and act, they'll trust me to direct. But that's kind of what's been going on. And then me and a friend of mine, Keanu, are kind of working on possibly a short film right now that I might audition for or just help on set.
Kyle's making some acting power moves right now.
It's because if I don't, I'm literally gonna go insane. I don't think I can play a single video game or watch another TV show without feeling absolutely guilty for not working.
That's how I felt. So I sent you a whole Snapchat thing, and it was
Yeah.
just awful, and it's fine. But it was basically like, okay, if I'm not going to act and I'm not going to go to school, then I'm just gonna fucking work.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna work as much as possible whenever I can, and then just get enough money and then just go.
That's why I'm thinking of quitting the Home Depot.
Honestly, I was considering too.
Because I need 40 hours and they give me like 15.
All right, now that we're 45 minutes into the episode, are we done? Are we done with are we done with life updates?
Yeah, that was the only. Oh, I'm going to Maine next week with my girlfriend Sam, so that'll be interesting. But other than that,
maybe no podcast next week, just for that fact.
Probably not, unless you want to do it with Jay or Mason while I'm out.
Yeah, unless we have just an episode with special guests.
Oos podcast.
Oos podcast.
Ooscast.
That could be a disaster.
Ooscast.
That could be fun.
So now the topic of the day at 49 minutes.
Yep.
Probably less at this point because I've been cutting things by now. But the overrated and underrated characters in media. So we're gonna go. I kind of already have an order. So first we're gonna do Star Wars, then Marvel, then DC, then Mason and I can talk about like a wrestler, while Kyle just like.
It's vibes.
Yeah,
I'll go on
twiddles his thumbs.
I'll go on my phone. I'll go on Twitter and.
I mean, you can comment. You can look up these people like, I hate Braun Strowman.
I the only wrestler I really know is Hulk Hogan, and he's.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know, and I know his whole controversy. So
he's a real American.
Brother.
And then the last one, just a piece of media. So like, it can be an underrated TV show.
I don't know.
Movie.
I have my overrated TV show and my underrated TV show.
Yeah, I have an overrated. Because both of mine are TV shows too.
Dominic's like, have you guys watched WandaVision?
Like, dude,
I actually
obscure.
did.
How was it? What do you think about it?
Cool. Once you told me it didn't really matter.
I mean, it kind of
matters,
but like, it's just fun.
Yeah. No, I enjoyed it. It was really fun.
So second girlfriend twice removed said we can use her name, Haley. Haley Rivard.
Haley Rivard.
Because I think
what's her middle name?
No.
Christina.
It is on her
Christina
Instagram.
Rivard.
Oh, I should have known.
Haley Christina Rivard.
But it's public.
It's public. She
Rivard.
Hello.
I haven't said hi to you in a while. Hello.
Hey, Haley.
She also says She also says hi and that she misses you guys. So.
Oh, we miss her.
I'm glad to hear that you're hearing the podcast.
I'm glad to know you're a fan.
Yeah.
There was one time
and correcting the lore that Dominic fucks up.
There was one time she
Thank you for that.
There was one time she unadded me from Snapchat and I had to be like, "Hey, do you hate me?" And she was like, "No, I just unadded a bunch of people." And
you were part of that list?
I was part of that list. And I was like, "Can you add me back?" And then she did, and we never talked after that.
But you can still see her story.
Exactly.
And that's what matters.
I need to check in with all the people that I once talked to.
We gotta look at people at all their high moments, so then we see all of our low moments as lesser, and then we get more depressed.
Yes. Wait, Dominic. Yes.
It's very healthy, I hear.
It's so good.
So I guess we can kind of go in a circle, and then like whoever's next can start the next topic.
well, Dominic, you start with Star Wars.
Okay.
Go. Who's your most overrated Star Wars character?
This will be controversial. I feel the Star Wars character I think is the most overrated of all time is Anakin Skywalker.
Overrated?
Overrated. Not Darth Vader. Anakin Skywalker.
Now, are we talking about?
I'm talking Clone Wars episode 1, 2, and 3.
So you're talking about Clone Wars 2.
I'm talking about Clone Wars 2 and episodes 1, 2, and 3. Granted, I haven't seen most of Clone Wars. I've seen like the good parts.
See, that's the gag. I almost put Anakin Skywalker as my most overrated.
I'm gonna write you guys down so I can like compare.
I almost did, but the thing is I think.
Don't worry, we're gonna have them all fight at the end.
I think Clone Wars made Anakin more justified in his like in his build up as like a character, whereas if you are just focusing on obviously the original trilogy, then I would agree with you.
See, the thing is with Anakin, he's a completely different character.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you look at if you're watching everything like in chronological order, if you go episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever. Mm-hmm. If you go episode 1, then episode 2, then you go to the Clone Wars. That is not the same fucking character. He's happier. He's cracking jokes. He doesn't sound like this all the time.
He's how he was supposed to be in Clone Wars. Like Clone Wars is like actually Anakin. Like any of those characters in Clone Wars, I'm like, oh, that's like how it was meant to be.
But then you see episode 3 and you're like, oh, these are different characters.
Yeah,
still.
right.
It's like, oh, he's not happy that Padme is pregnant at all. I mean, he's happy about it, but he's not like showing emotion about it. Like he's like, I know you can't see that, but I just like a little smirk, just like.
Yeah, I feel like those first 3 original movies, his character was just not well like adjusted. It wasn't well directed, all over the place. I do think like, so I get it, but like I also feel like, I don't know, like he's cool in Clone Wars where he's like, I'm gonna be like, his arc of being a Padawan himself to being a Jedi Master and like training his Padawan gives him so much more depth.
He never became a Jedi Master.
Oh,
He wasn't.
true. Well,
he was recognized by the council. But
he was
doesn't
trying. Okay, he was trying to be a Jedi man. He was trying so hard. See, I feel like that arc really just like helped him out a little bit. But I do see what you're saying, because the first 3 original movies were kind of.
And then Darth Vader's just like such a badass, and he has so much charisma of just being like, I am a badass motherfucker, and I will choke you out. And it's like, don't choke on your aspirations. And it's like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Even though that's corny, dude, I'd bow to that guy.
Yeah,
I wouldn't bow to Anakin Skywalker. I wouldn't bow to Anakin Skywalker, Darth Vader without his like helmet and stuff.
Hey,
on.
Count Dooku had to, so.
And you know what happened to him, right? He got his head chopped up and his arms chopped off. Yes, you know Mason.
I've seen them. I don't remember shit about movies. I only remember the most obscure moments of like wrestling episodes nobody's ever seen. That's where my brain power and memory goes to, is wrestling. But I can say like I've seen Star Wars. Mm-hmm. It's good.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll say my underrated character now. So I had a lot of trouble figuring out my underrated character.
Yeah.
Just because like I feel like every character in Star Wars has their own TV show now.
You either have your own TV show or you are in 2 seconds of a frame and then they make 50 million action figures off of you.
And then you get like this super backstory lore, like heavy.
Yeah, in a book that you'll never read.
People are going to angry us about that.
Oh, I
like,
don't give a shit.
Yeah, it's fine. Nobody's going to listen to this.
Yeah. Except Haley Rivard.
Except Haley Rivard.
And me, because I'm in the room.
It's all of your
Thank you.
It's just all of Dominic's exes in a room listening to his
God.
listening to the podcast.
That could be
My hell.
They're just judging him and they're like, "Oh, yeah, he used to say that kind of shit with me too."
Yeah, like, oh,
You know
he
what
hasn't
that
changed
means,
a
though?
fucking bit, asshole.
Rant free. They're listening to your podcast. But also, I guess,
But it's also the other way around too.
You haven't absolutely destroyed your relationships with your exes. You've still been.
I've
on
definitely
good terms with
strained
them.
some of them.
Yeah, but over time, I feel like you guys end up on good terms anyway. So
Which is always the goal.
Because I'm just a good guy.
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy.
I meant it as a joke, but thank you.
He's just a good. He's just a GG.
Good.
Dominic.
To us, but we're men.
But I'm not
we're on his
kissing you guys.
favorites
Yeah,
list.
so I
so
don't know.
we're on
Oh
his,
my god.
we're on his top
I know how
5
it goes a
people.
little
Yeah,
bit.
list.
top
but
5
not
people of all time. I was trying to figure out the ranking. I do have the ranking.
Oh
But
my
but
god.
I didn't do people. I did like fuckwads.
Kyle and I were trying to guess the ranking.
Yeah, we put.
I texted him about the first podcast episode.
Of course.
In context clues, Kyle was 3, we thought Piper was 4, and I was 5.
Your
and
mom,
if you were 1, we guessed that your mom would
was
be 2.
Yeah, your mom.
Oh, you guys have that list completely wrong.
Oh,
It's fine. I'll reveal it in a future episode when we do the
Oh.
list episode.
The Watch Mojo with
The Watch Mojo episode. Back to my underrated character.
Yeah.
We just go on tangents all the time. It's all right.
That's how a podcast works.
Holy moly.
It's been 58 minutes.
That's fine.
My underrated character is BB-8, the fucking ball droid.
That's hilarious. Actually, I like that answer.
Because
See, I feel like I just feel like I feel like with all of the merch that you can get a BB-8, I feel like he's not underrated.
so
I feel like he's well respected enough to not be underrated.
how I thought of it is like all the droids you think of, like all the main ones. It's BB-8 third. Like you go R2D2 C3PO and then you go BB-8. I think he's like a pretty important character. Like, yeah, in the first, like in the Force Awakens, they were trying to make him like, oh, this is the new R2D2 because he's like, oh, he beeps and whistles.
Yeah.
Exactly, and they're like, oh, he's a ball this time. But like, I think that's such a cool design.
Oh,
and,
it is.
and he's also like one
Very-
of
We're actually talking into BB-8. Right
the
now.
microphone is a literal ball.
Looks exactly like BB-8.
Kyle's speaking into a ball.
I like his yellow paint job too. Like his overall.
Yeah, like the
I thought
orange
he
and
was-
yellow.
He's yellow.
He's like orange, white, yellow.
Yeah, he's like orange.
We don't know Star Wars. I just put it in there because like social, it's like a popular media franchise.
Shit all over.
Yeah. Well, fuck you.
Fuck Star Wars.
Lucasfilms who?
Lucasfilm more like
Shaves his beard
Boocasfilm.
weird. Y'all ever seen his neckline?
But I just feel like I just feel like he's such an important character. Like they made him important on purpose.
Yeah.
But that's like every story though. Like you make a character important on purpose. But I feel like he's out of the important characters, he's the most like underappreciated.
Yeah. Okay.
See, like yeah, there isn't an
Star
opinion
Wars.
on
Star Wars is hard because they really do just kind of like here's some characters
and everyone's important,
everyone's important. Everyone gets a gold star.
like real life.
Like a gold Star Wars. Well.
So that's mine, and those
Okay.
are my explanations.
I see where you're coming from with BB-8. I love his design. I think if I was a kid and like the new trilogy had come out when I was like much younger, I would definitely have wanted.
Because Kyle's a lot older than.
Because
all
I'm
of us.
fucking a million years old. Yeah,
Ancient man.
ancient fucking history. I look like your guys' dad at this table.
I mean, he's the only one with facial hair here right now. I mean, Mason has like stubble, but does that really count?
No, it doesn't. Yeah, but also I would disagree only with the sense that he is like, well, I guess it's just because as far as like underrated goes, like he's like kind of like the marketing for him was kind of shoved
Right.
down everybody's throat. So
Right.
it's like, you know who BB-8 is, you know where he is in the trilogy, like.
It makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'll go with my list now. So overrated, and I thought about this because I will admit I almost put Anakin as my overrated until I really was like, okay, the Clone Wars kind of helps him out.
Right.
But I was thinking about, okay, who in like media, and especially after like they retconned a bunch of like comics and all this stuff, I was like, the most overrated character by far now, Boba Fett.
Oh my! I totally forgot about Boba Fett,
Dude, because I'm sorry, you watched the TV show
I just
and
wrote
it's
Boba Fett
and
out.
like in the original series, he's just the guy that stands there and looks cool, and everybody for years and years and years they hyped him up. They said he was this cool ass bounty hunter, and he finally gets his debut TV show only to be a mafia leader with a heart.
and like a kind of a half pacifist.
Yeah, and he's like, when I have a stick, I'm kind of cool. But it's just like, so disappointing. Like, that show is so disappointing because The Mandalorian kind of took all the things that, like,
We thought Boba Fett was cool about.
yeah, and took that, and then Boba Fett was like, I'm gonna be, like, kind of, not like, obviously he fights people in the show, but, like, he's such a pacifist, and he's always taking, like, the higher ground, and, like, it's just, like, that's fine for certain characters, but when you are coming in with that expectation of this is supposed to be the most badass bounty hunter in the world.
And like a bounty hunter, you gotta think like they don't have honor.
Yeah, and now he's like, no, I have honor, and I'm gonna be a king, and I'm gonna rule good, and it's like,
more kingdom in Tatooine.
and I'm like, weren't you like hell bent on revenge as a child for trying to get like your what was it, Mace Windu?
Windu.
Yeah, trying to get Mace Windu, and now you're just this nice little guy. Like, it just made his character be like, okay, you are overrated. Like,
Mid.
your entire legacy that everybody hyped up is nothing now because you've shown us who you are, and you're not as violent, and you're not as like badass. I mean, he's kind of badass with like the stick, and I'll say like that was
Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool, but it wasn't like it didn't tickle my pickle in the right way. But I'm glad that we agreed on that because the second I like really thought of that, I was like, Yeah.
And I feel like now that that show has come out, I feel like that's a more like popular. I didn't even fucking think of Boba Fett just because like he is overrated.
He is overrated. His entire TV show is like, when your entire TV show is disappointing and like,
and that's another example of like, oh, everyone in Star Wars gets a TV show.
yeah,
Like, does Boba Fett need a TV show, or can he just be a side character and just be really badass looking for bounties?
Because you could have been on the underrated list, but no, you have.
If you didn't show up so damn much.
If you didn't show up, dude. My favorite part of is like his show got good when it was just the Mandalorian's TV show.
Oh my god, the episodes where Mando was in it.
Oh,
Top tier
so
Boba Fett
good
episodes.
because they weren't even Boba. Like, it was like, this does not need to be in Mando's TV show whatsoever. As for my underrated Star Wars characters, I feel like a lot of people will agree with me. Cad Bane, very underrated.
I can't even tell you who that is off the top of my head. Is that the guy who looks like Darth Maul but blue? Who was in Clone Wars?
Yeah, he has like a big hat.
That's when I stopped watching Clone Wars.
Yeah.
I didn't care.
I got his Lego set.
He's probably one of the greatest. Like, he's what
Boba Fett should be.
Literally, he's what Boba Fett should be. He, like, his episodes where he is just like infiltrating like Jedi like buildings and all this stuff. He's so cool. He's like if Clint Eastwood was in space. You know what I mean?
And then the Boba Fett TV show ruined him.
and then the Boba Fett,
they just murdered him.
They just killed him off. So, but before that last episode came out and everybody saw him, everybody was so hyped because they were so excited for this character that doesn't really get enough praise or storylines. And then they were just like, whatever. So yeah, I think Cad Bane, you could make an entire like TV show about him. You could do so much more with him. He's such a well-made badass. So he's my most underrated.
I can see where you're coming from. I can agree with you. Now, Mason, I know you're an extremely huge Star Wars fanatic. You know every character. You've read every novel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a black belt in Jedi Jitsu. That's a line, and She Kills Monsters. Come see it at Oakland University.
Oh my god.
Okay. Anyway, but so yeah, I'm kind of disconnected from Star Wars. I've seen them. I saw Clone Wars growing up, but like I said, I stopped when Cad Bane was like a thing.
Oh.
Which a lot of people tell me that's when it gets good.
Right.
You know what? You know what this can be? This can be like an outsider's perspective of things.
So if you guys think it's wrong, I don't care, and you're probably right. So I'm gonna start with underrated character. Okay. This is kind of based from what I remember of Star Wars: The Clone Wars.
Okay.
General Grievous. Mostly, I love him. Okay. Because I had a figure of him when I was a kid, and you could swap his arms, and he'd hold all the lightsabers.
I had that one too.
I don't remember. Was he like the main bad guy in Clone Wars?
He was probably like he was probably for a season.
I liked him a lot. I'll say he's underrated. I don't know. I don't remember him much in the movies. Was he?
There isn't much of him.
Yeah.
To be honest.
But I need real life Grievous in more damn Star Wars movies. I don't know what happened to him. He's probably got murdered at some point. I don't know.
You're damn straight he did.
God damn. Well, rest in peace, General Grievous. Overrated. So this will be an interesting one. I get it, guys. Darth Maul looks cool. He looks awesome. And he's got the double-sided fucking lightsaber. But he was only in the one movie for
I so agree with
5 minutes.
And this is another scenario where
but
it's
he
like...
was in Clone Wars, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was
Was
a
he
lot in Clone Wars.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's what I vaguely remember.
Clone Wars took everything from like that was like kind of like touched upon, and then they made like an entire story arc.
Another example of Star Wars just taking like a 5-second background character and making a story.
Yeah.
That's the entire definition of Star Wars Clone Wars.
Yeah. But another thing I want to talk about, speaking of droids, I will say R2-D2 is overrated.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
I'm not done. I'll say this. R2-D2 is overrated in comparison, in my mind, to C-3PO. Because I
think fucking take that in reverse.
I think C-3PO is better than R2-D2.
Explain yourself.
He's British. No, but like in all honesty, like okay, R2D2's cool. He's marketable like BB-8, but he beeps and whistles. Okay, he's got some attitude.
Yeah.
Which you can kind of tell, which is kind of
hilarious.
funny. But C-3PO is just such a sweetheart, and he's funny. And like, if it wasn't for him, I feel like a lot of things in Star Wars, like plot-wise, wouldn't move forward because he's always like the
very right.
messenger.
He's the constant voice of reason. When
Yeah.
growing up, he was my favorite character just because I was like, oh, he's cool and shiny. Like everybody was like Luke Skywalker. I was like, I like that weird droid.
I'll agree with you with Darth Maul and with I already forgot who your first pick was. General Grievous. General Grievous. I will say, though I haven't seen Clone Wars, there hasn't been like enough solo General Grievous stuff for me to be like, oh, he's overrated. I feel like he might be just properly rated.
Yeah, like that's what I was gonna say. Like I don't think he's underrated because like there was also, I don't know if anybody's watched it, the 2D, like the original Star Wars.
The Clone Wars?
The Clone Wars.
There's Star Wars The Clone Wars and then there's Star Wars Clone Wars.
It's not canon anymore because Star Wars The Clone Wars came out, but
he looks so cool.
Dude, he looks so cool. He was so badass.
Samurai Jack style.
Clone Wars?
Literally.
Clone Wars?
Clone Wars.
It might be...
Yeah, or 2D animated Star Wars
Maybe just
TV
look up like
show.
2004 or whatever it came
It was
out.
2002 or something like that.
Damn, I was a baby.
You were a little baby.
Oh, he looks cool as fuck.
Right.
Dude, and it was
Right.
like he would just take out armies because it was animated in a way where it was just like everybody was OP. Like everybody was OP.
Oh yeah.
And
Dude,
so
dude's
it's like,
looking slender with
yeah,
those
I don't think he's underrated. I think
metal
he's
abs.
properly rated. I would like to see more of him, like maybe like do like an animated like prequel to his origins or something, because that would be cool. Because he would literally kill Jedi and like take their lightsabers. I want to see some more of that. All right. So now we're going to be doing overrated and underrated Marvel characters.
I can't wait to tell man. I'm so excited.
I'm
I'm
like-
going last.
I'm genuinely okay. So for my most overrated Marvel character,
I have a feeling.
Steve Rogers, Captain America.
Ah, that was whoa. That's not where my mind went at all.
Wow.
Who did you think I was gonna say?
I thought you were gonna say an X-Men character.
Oh, that makes sense, but
Damn. Captain America.
But Captain America,
Fucking,
I can like semi see it, but like
it's a personal bias just because I don't like Boy Scout.
Okay.
I don't like Boy Scout characters that much. I like, or if you are a Boy Scout character, I like just more
some depth.
Some depth. I just feel like I don't know, when you're like too good of a person, it makes me question.
Like I see like in the modern times they're trying to do Captain America as like their Superman, where he's like super good and always good all the time. Like I feel like that character only works as Superman.
Right. And it's just like I don't know. I feel like he could like everybody looks up to Captain America in the Marvel universe, and they're always like he's the leader, and he's just a Mary Sue. He's just a Mary Sue to me.
Not to be fucking political, but having the American character be like all good and perfect,
Right. Like that always
isn't
rubbed me
good.
wrong.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, like we get it. It's America, and he like stands for all these.
But
like...
then also when you dive deeper into his character, because like when he became Nomad, when they kind of did that in the movies, but they also did it in the comic books. This was around when Nixon, I believe, was fucking being corrupt and shit, and he's like, I'm not a crook. He like denounced America, and so like moments like that where I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
good for you, Captain America, but that's like very rare.
Yeah.
But so yeah, I can see that.
Where was Captain America when Trump was president? What were his thoughts?
Technically in space.
Technically he was a Nazi.
Well, sort of, kind of.
He was a Hydra member.
Oh, right.
Whatever.
Yeah, I mean that was because Red Skull went back in time and was like, "I'm gonna fuck with your origins."
Can I say the Nazi word?
Can you say Nazi?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can say Nazi.
Well, I mean, like, yeah, I can say it because Nazis are bad people. Fuck Nazis.
Yeah.
Fuck Nazis.
Yeah,
and all.
We hate Nazis.
We hate
I-
Nazis.
If you didn't figure that out already.
Let me.
Are you having
let me
trouble
be the first to say
pronouncing Nazi? It's not Z.
Nazi.
Nazi. Yeah.
That's how you spell it. Yeah, sure. But wow, that's surprising. Captain America.
And then like that was like he's got good stories, but I feel like a lot of his stories are just like
Him trying to.
Yeah, I'm on a secret mission. I'm leading the Avengers. I'm saving my best friend.
I like Captain America when he's like kind of a leader though, because in a story on his own, he's just like, I'm doing what's right.
Yeah.
All the time. And like when he's a leader, he's like, you fucking do this, you do this, and you do this. Like, we're gonna work as a team. Like, he's good as a team leader. Like, if he was fucking Captain Italy, I feel like it'd be a little better.
It's funny. It's not that I hate Captain America either, because I love his trilogy. Like he's got the best trilogy. I just am like, compared to the other, like, if you're comparing him to other bigger Marvel characters, he's just my personal least favorite. As for underrated characters, I was like, how niche can we get?
Hydra Bob.
No, Dominic knows this one.
Do I?
We actually talked about it very recently. Speedball.
Oh, I agree. I know exactly who that is.
For those who might not know in the audience who Speedball is.
All the people who are probably going to listen to this initially don't know who Speedball is.
Yeah.
No, nobody.
I
Ex-girlfriend removed number 1. Ex-girlfriend removed number 2.
Haley
You're not gonna know
Rivard.
who Speedball is.
So for those who don't know who fucking Speedball is, he was in this very niche, like, unknown story called Civil War.
Yeah.
What? I saw that movie.
This is the comic version.
Yeah.
He was too underrated to make it to the film.
But his biggest moment, he was part of the New Warriors, which is during that time like a TV show, like a sitcom almost, or
like a superhero reality TV show in the Marvel universe.
That's the word to use, yeah. And him and the New Warriors were searching out this base full of supervillains. They antagonize them. One of the supervillains has very explosive powers called Nitro.
Sweet.
And he's like, "Hey, kid, fuck you," and blows up an entire school district, or blows up an entire school and kills a shit ton of children.
So many children, and it was being filmed live. And then he goes from being Speedball to Penance, where he can only use his powers if he's in pain, and so he has to make himself a suit that is just constantly putting him in pain. Kind of like how Darth Vader's suit kind of like puts him in pain in order to like tone down his powers, whereas Penance, it's like, I need to be in pain to use my powers. And I'm like, dude,
it's an underrated character, but they don't use him,
right?
Which I guess does make him underrated. Yeah.
Exactly. to the definition, to the T. If he came out with a show and like nobody knows who this character is, for Marvel fans who aren't gonna look it up, like that, like they'd be shocked.
I think the problem with doing like a TV show of that would be he would have to be Speedball.
Yeah, he'd have to start as Speedball. Yeah.
Yeah, like you couldn't go straight to Penance because it's that character development of like him being a silly little kid and then having that trauma of being like, oh, I fucking killed a bunch of kids.
My favorite type of character is a character that starts as one thing and becomes like completely differently something else.
Oh, so character development.
Yeah, so character, but like, I mean, sometimes the character's just like, oh, I did a bad thing and now I'm gonna be really good. Like, I love Spider-Man, but like, he's a good guy and he just does some mistakes and then he's like, blames himself, and that's what like kind of makes him, with great power comes great responsibility.
The problem with Spider-Man is that like everyone wants him in a certain way, and that certain way is not going to please everyone, so you don't never do anything new.
No.
But we're not talking about Spider-Man, so...
No, we'll do that. Dom and I will have a...
We'll have a Spider-Man specific episode.
Oh, yeah.
No
we'll go crazy.
You guys got to write down your ideas for future episodes.
Oh, I have
them. Good.
Yeah, I've also kind of come up with a few. I just got to make... Dom's way better at, like, getting it specific. Because I have, like, a cinema episode I want to do.
Well, fucking...
Just cinema.
Cinema.
So it's us saying...
We sit down and watch movies in silence.
You can hear the video just like playing off in the background of the podcast, and there's no one
Jojo.
talking.
Rabbit.
I am your father. Zurg. So it's a Toy Story moment.
Yeah, my most underrated Marvel character is actually Buzz.
All right. So, overrated Captain America.
Yeah, overrated is Captain America. Underrated is Speedball, because you never fucking heard of that guy.
Yeah, damn straight.
So now, is it my turn?
Yes.
So Kyle and Dom know that my answer for overrated will be kind of biased even, because here's why. I never watched Captain America Winter Soldier and Captain America Civil War until like this year.
I know what you're gonna fucking say,
Oh, no.
and it's fine. I'm fine with
And the overrated character is Winter Soldier.
it. I'm fine with it.
Oh.
I'm
I
fine
don't
with it.
give a shit about Winter Soldier. We all saw Black Panther together, and at the end credit scene where like he came out and they handed him like his metal fucking arm, I literally was like, who is that? I hadn't seen either of the movies, and I was just like, they were like, oh, that's like Cap's friend. And I was like, I don't care. And he's got the show with the new Captain America,
Yeah.
and I ain't gonna watch it.
It's like
Not because I don't have Disney Plus. I don't have Disney Plus.
It's a better Disney Plus show.
It's
I'm not
literally
gonna
one
lie.
of the better ones.
Oh, it's so depressing. I wish Loki was better, because I actually would have watched that one if I didn't hear it was dog shit.
It's not dog shit. It's above mid.
It's above mid. But
He's
like
pretty
Falcon,
though.
Falcon and the Winter Soldier was honestly one. I think that is the most underrated show.
I thought it was a good like series altogether, and like I
Yeah.
feel like it was.
I thought it was very well done. I liked his character arc of him really feeling like he needs to earn it, and like his whole training montage was really cool.
Right.
Just like the dynamic between like Falcon and the Winter Soldier, or like now Captain America and the Winter Soldier.
Right.
Like it's a good scene. Like I like the scene where they have to do therapy together basically, and they're doing that scene where it's like knees to knees. I thought that was really cool. I thought it was very well done, and it was a very good like character dynamic.
But I do feel Bucky is overrated though, in some respect, because I feel like everyone hypes him up and then he doesn't do much. Like he's an important aspect to like at least the MCU, but like if you look at the books, like Mason, I feel like your reference is the movies.
It's just movies.
It's just the movies. Like in the movies, he's an important character to like Iron Man story and a Captain America story and just how they mesh together. But like in the comic books, I feel like he isn't that important. I feel like the most important thing that he did was when he first was revealed as the Winter Soldier, basically. Yeah. And then
I like in the show though that like he becomes best friends with this old man. And then it turns out he is like literally he's going to therapy because he's just like stricken with guilt because when he was the Winter Soldier, he killed this old man's son, but the old man doesn't know, and he just hangs out with him every day. I don't know. I just like that gave him a lot of depth for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what, Bucky, you're pretty cool. I see why Captain America made a whole war over you a little bit.
it wasn't very civil.
It wasn't very civil.
Both great movies. I ended up watching them. But it was too late for me. And I'll say this in terms of Sebastian Stan. I guess people stan him for being like a good-looking guy. At first, I didn't see it in Winter Soldier. And then I saw Pam and Tommy. I didn't see it either, and I was really confused. But then I saw Fresh.
Oh, where
and he came
like...
out with the turtleneck, and I was like, oh, I get it.
I think that's just turtlenecks.
He could cut my butt cheek off, too.
I haven't seen either of those last two.
Very
projects.
good.
Pam and Tommy is really good.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Fresh yet.
Fresh is really good, too.
Who's your most underrated Marvel character?
Yeah.
So this is also in terms of movies.
Right.
This mother effer should have got a trilogy.
Okay.
Excited.
He should come back into the MCU with his original actor who played that character.
I think I know where this is going.
Nicolas Cage, Ghost Rider. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. When I was younger, I had a Ghost Rider figure from the movies, and it came with like an alternate like Nicolas Cage head. And I lost the Ghost Rider head.
Yeah.
So I just had a Nicolas Cage action figure, and I wish I had it to this day because he'd definitely be on like display somewhere.
Oh yeah.
But I love those movies. F
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I'm a fan too.
And imagine
they're dumb, but I love
imagine
them.
the headlines of like, oh, Nicolas Cage is in the MCU.
I wouldn't be shocked.
brother.
I wouldn't-
Unfortunately, Keanu Reeves is trying to vibe for that position.
He would
It's
kill that
Kea-
though.
it's
He
Kea-
would kill Ghost Rider.
Okay.
It's Keanu and Norman Reedus, right?
No, it's Keanu and Ryan Gosling.
Oh.
Which, okay, I'm with two people that haven't watched a lot of Ryan Gosling movies.
He can make it work. He's
Yeah,
If you haven't watched Drive, then you have no say. And if
I've seen Drive.
you've seen Drive,
Ryan Gosling. Can,
you have not seen Drive.
No, I have not seen Drive.
Keanu looks wise has that like edge that Ghost Rider has, but also like I feel like Ryan Gosling definitely can do it too.
See, I'm the book.
like, the
I'm the
Notebook?
book guy. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
fucking Ghost Rider hasn't. Oh my god, Johnny Blaze hasn't been Ghost Rider for a fucking while.
Yeah.
Because I think his last big story, he was King of Hell.
Oh, that makes
Like he like pseudo replaced Mephisto.
Uh-huh.
And so ever since there's been fucking Robbie Reyes, fucking car Ghost Rider.
Right.
No, you want a motorcycle. You want a motorcycle man as your Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I mean, I'll take either or, but like, yeah, I like the Johnny Blaze motorcycle Ghost Rider.
and then there's Danny Ketch, but nobody gives a shit about Danny Ketch.
That's the one on the horse, right?
No, that's the one with the cooler fucking bike. So like Johnny Blaze has like a motorcycle.
Okay.
Danny Ketch has like a big steel like
Ew.
one.
I don't
Is it
care.
that one?
That's Johnny Blaze.
Yeah.
The action figure that I have, I believe, is Johnny Blaze. But
Mhm.
Danny Ketch has like a full like metal contraption. Like you see how that one looks like a motorcycle?
Yeah.
His is more like
beautiful
solid. You
figure.
can't see the engine. Like it's a solid like chunk of metal.
Oh.
If you look it up, it's a pretty sweet looking motorcycle. Like it's,
Right.
That's the '90s Ghost Rider,
Okay.
and he looks pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Mason.
I do.
I think he's underrated. I think we need more of him. I would love, I would love if they like cast somebody new, just because like it would be fresh. But if Nicolas Cage decided to come back, he would have so much fun. Oh,
Are you vying for the role? Are you
One
vying
of
for
us
the
is
role
gonna
of Ghost
be
Rider?
Johnny Blaze.
I think we should all just be Johnny Blaze, and then like just interchange. Like every time he goes to
Yeah.
hell, it's just a new face.
It's a new
you said
guy.
A couple guys were Ghost Rider. You said Johnny Blaze.
So
was
we can do-
Ghost
we
Rider.
can do-
There's another guy.
We could do Johnny Blaze. One of us could be Danny Ketch, and then
Frank,
none of
Frank
us.
Castle.
Yeah, one of us can be Punisher.
Well, yeah, because like
He
in
becomes.
yeah,
He
so
becomes Cosmic Ghost
Cosmic
Rider. You can
Ghost
see, like,
Rider.
That
Is
blue
that the one with
ball.
the ball? I was looking
Yeah.
at that 2 seconds ago, and I was like, I got.
and it's really I love his story because like they just make him live on forever until he like loses his mind.
Everyone thought it was Deadpool because he was funny, but yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like he lost his mind.
And I think that's such an interesting character arc for Frank Castle. It's such a 180 like character.
Twist from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, Ghost Rider, I definitely fucking agree.
I agree.
So, overrated. Who'd you fucking say?
Uh,
What bullshit did you
Soldier.
spew? Oh, Winter Soldier. Yeah, that's fine.
Bucky Barnes.
Bucky Barnes, and then
See, I know
Ghost
my
Rider.
stuff.
So it's funny because basically Mason and I together said Captain America and the Winter Soldier are bullshit.
That's funny.
like-
I'm not gonna
I
go in that
like
direction
Cap.
at all.
Cat
Alright.
makes me money from the princess party. I did a cat party. Oh,
You
it
know,
was rough.
really,
I'm not gonna say anything else about it.
I think one of
At
the
least on the podcast.
I think one of the best parties I ever worked at, Party Place number 1, was actually like a Captain America party, just because the kid was so into it.
All my parties sucked.
My favorite is the one where you and I worked together as Star-Lord and you ripped the pants.
Oh, my pants ripped.
That's hilarious.
And it was like at the beginning of the
Oh
party
my
too.
God.
So we still had like a half hour to go, and it's like, my fucking pants are ripped. I have to take pictures with these children.
All right, Dom, who's your
So
characters?
my overrated. Should I say? I'll do my underrated first,
Okay.
because I feel like that one I have more to speak about.
Sure.
Sandman. Not the Sandman, but like Marvel.
Marvel's,
Like
Marvel
the
Spidey's-
Spider-Man villain Sandman.
who was
I
an
love
Avenger
that
at one point.
answer.
He was an Avenger, and I feel like he should have sticked as a good guy.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because you look at it, you look at his like what his motivation is, and it's like
Right, like
Yeah.
his backstory is just like, it's literally Scott Lang Ant-Man.
yeah,
If you think about it, because Scott Lang Ant-Man, his daughter's sick. He goes and steals the Ant-Man suit so he can get money or get a cure. Sandman steals money because his daughter is sick,
Mm-hmm.
and he wants to treat her, but then he accidentally gets Sandman powers.
Jean Valjean stole a loaf of bread.
Yeah,
I get that. No, I get it.
Fuck that guy.
I like Sandman. He was pretty moral in the new Spider-Man movie.
And yeah, and I feel like they kind of did his character dirty just because, like,
They didn't. They were like, he was like, I just gotta get back to my daughter.
which is
Yeah.
like, yeah, that's your motivation, but also like, you got to understand you're not in the same universe, and if you help this fucking Spider-Man out,
yeah,
then you can get to your
right.
universe.
Like he just kind of felt like all over the place a
Yeah.
little bit,
But like,
Brian's all over the place.
and they couldn't get his actor to like actually be present, so they just made a CGI model.
which is upsetting, but that's
is
alright.
that why?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
But yeah, Sandman.
Yeah, that's-
My overrated character are all the X-Men ever. Every single fucking X-Men.
come
I hate the X-Men. It's Star Wars. It's the Star Wars of Marvel. They show up for one panel, they get 20 action figures, and then you never see them again. All their stories are mid. Yeah, I'll give that they have a few good storylines. Like right now, their storyline's pretty cool because they're like, oh, we're not taking shit from the humans anymore. That's fine. And Dark Phoenix, pretty cool. But like the original X-Men storylines, mid.
Apocalypse though is cool, or like
Oh, is he Age of Apocalypse fucking
or
mid?
or when they have like the Sentinels. The Sentinels are cool.
Sentinels are pretty cool.
But Days of Futures Past, like I think that was just a one comic.
It's
issue.
a one-off story, and everyone's just like, let's go back to that universe every 5 seconds. Let's
Yeah.
go back to fucking Apocalypse every 5 seconds. Like, no one gives a shit. And then Mojo World? No one gives a shit about Mojo World.
My
And
issue.
then there's like 20 teams.
Yeah.
There's X-Men Red, X-Men Gold, X-Men Blue. There's 3 right there. They all have X-Men in the name. That's not going to be a trend. We got Excalibur. We got fucking X-Force. We got,
Oh yeah, X-Force.
oh my god, I'm trying to... Ecstatics.
Oh, abysmal name.
There's another one. I can't remember it right now, but it's just like all of it. It's just oversaturated, very mid. I don't care for them.
I see what you're saying. See, and especially when Dominic and I are like excited about new action figures coming out, and we're always like, "What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?" And it's always just
90% of the time, it is X-Men.
It's just X-Men.
I don't think they've released an Avengers wave that hasn't been movies since
Yeah.
like 2018.
Right, and it's just like, oh my god.
Like, we get Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America every once in a while.
Yeah,
those are like
they did the exclusive.
Yeah.
Like the anniversary.
Yeah, they did like those the majority, but like other characters, you'll get like they just announced another Wolverine.
Mm-hmm.
God.
See, I think 5 Wolverines. I think I own 5 Wolverines. That is not every Wolverine that they have released. There are at least 4 more. And it just pisses me off because it's like, one, we don't need that many Wolverines, and I have like my main X-Men in my action figures. I'm fine with that because it's just the X-Men. It's the main X-Men. That's who's gonna show up in the movies.
Right.
But besides that, it's just like, it's Star Wars. It was made to be marketed into action figures and memorabilia.
Yeah.
That's all that it is. Like small characters that nobody gives a shit about, or that they think somebody will give a shit about.
Yeah.
Is made into an action figure, or given a huge fucking storyline.
In defense of X-Men,
God.
I will say this: X-Men is its best when it's like simple stories focused on like what the characters are going through. Like when it's about the fact that they are mutants and they live in a world where people are against it.
That's what I want.
That's
from the
yeah.
X-Men.
That's when it's like simply based at that. You have like cartoons like X-Men Evolution, where all of the X-Men, like, they go to like Xavier's school, but then they also go to high school and try to be normal kids, and you get to see kind of the discrimination that they go up against. And I think that's when it's good. That's when it's interesting. That's when Magneto, you kind of like see from his side of things, where it's like, I side with Magneto sometimes, where he's like, dude, like, I'm just sick of people discriminating against me because I'm different or powerful. And so he's like, I will not let anybody do that to me. And so he goes, a little extreme. Or like, which one is it? Rogue, the one
who steals powers.
the one who steals powers,
Rogue.
or the one who's the one who like when she touches you, you die.
That's Rogue. She saps your powers, and that's
Yeah.
why you die.
Okay.
Like, she sucks your energy force.
Basically, but it's like I love her character arc of the fact that she like can't like fall in love with anybody.
Yeah,
because
her and fucking what's it, Gambit. Their
Gambit.
story is good. Like there are select stories where like, okay, that's good, that's nice. I
Yeah.
like that.
But and that's where I'll probably end it, because like there's certain like things like that where it's just character focused, where you're like, this is good quality content. The thing with X-Men though is they just like you said, there's 5 teams, there's so much going on.
Yep.
Xavier, sometimes he has his legs, sometimes he doesn't. It's so confusing to keep up with. It's like a monstrosity of just comic waves, and like the whole reason Spider-Man was bad in the 90s for a little bit was because they were focused so heavily on trying to make sure their X-Men run made sense and like was doing well. And so it's just like shit like that, where whenever like anything becomes oversaturated in the comic book market
And like takes over every part of a story, that's when it's most annoying.
then I'm like, okay, X-Men, shut the fuck up. Go back to your roots. Like give me
Go to your own part of the world and chill.
give me Sabretooth being discriminated against. Other than that, like.
So my for my Marvel, overrated X-Men, underrated Sandman. Kyle.
It was Captain America, overrated, underrated Speedball.
And Mason.
Winter Soldier, overrated as fuck. Couldn't care less. Who needs 8 more movies? Ghost Rider.
Literally.
So now we get to the part of the podcast where it's just going to be me and Mason talking for like a while.
Yes, because no matter how hard me, Dominic, or Jay tries to get Kyle into wrestling, it just hasn't clicked yet.
Listen. I'm trying. Okay? I like when we all hang out. Maybe not tonight because I got to learn my lines for the show.
Understandable.
But another day.
We'll get there. So this is talking about wrestlers.
Damn
Okay.
straight. Overrated.
Damn straight.
Overrated, underrated wrestlers.
Professional wrestling as a whole, underrated in today's day and age. Okay.
But so what we're talking about right now is modern day, what the wrestlers are right now. So
current day WWE, year of our Lord 2022.
And at least I did a pick from WWE and AEW. I don't know what you did.
I decided to go the same route.
Okay.
Yeah,
very good.
And then the reason we're doing like wrestlers how they stand right now is because some wrestlers over their careers, at moments they were overrated, and then you could say at some moments they're underrated. So it's hard to be like, this guy's overrated, this guy's underrated.
But we're talking about now, so you can go first with your picks for underrated and overrated. Because we're going in a circle.
Yeah. Overrated wrestlers.
Yes.
AEW wrestler. Dr. Britt Baker. DM.
Dom. Sorry.
Dom.
Yeah.
I like her.
I totally agree with you, by the way.
Like, even like, I'm trying. Well, this is still kind of current. Because AEW's so new.
I'd say like within the last 3 or 4 years.
Yeah. Yeah, which is perfect. Because she was the first... I think she was the first female talent. Well, Brandy Rhodes. I don't know. Signed to AEW when they first started. And it was kind of like people knew who she was. And she was kind of like this babyface character. And it didn't click with anybody, but they were still trying to push her. And it just wasn't working. And she was fine in the ring, but, who the fuck am I to say? I'm just some mark. Okay. But then they did the heel turn, and it was great at first. It was a breath of fresh air.
She was new, and new things are good.
And she got really popular really quickly because of her catchphrase.
Yeah. The fucking
and I feel
finger
like,
point.
Yeah, the catchphrase with the finger point. And she's still okay wrestling-wise. I feel like a lot of her stories now they're kind of muddied because it's like, okay, we know what her gimmick is. Evil person with a catchphrase and a faction.
This sounds familiar.
But Adam Cole is better in the ring.
Mason, this sounds familiar. Would you say if she's dominant with a catchphrase and you know that she's gonna win, wouldn't you say she's like Charlotte Flair?
What faction is Charlotte Flair in?
4 Horsewomen.
It's not a faction.
That's kind of
That's
it's
like
a
the
s-
clique. It's not really a thing on TV.
No, but like women wrestler with a catchphrase, woo.
Not her catchphrase.
But she uses it.
Oh, okay. She tried not to when she was first there in NXT because she wanted to make her own legacy apart from her father's legacy.
Fuck that turn heel says woo.
No, literally. Which was good for her.
Good for her. But I agree with you with Britt Baker entirely. Yeah, like I don't want to see her in a. The problem with women wrestling in AEW right now is I want to see storylines outside of the belt.
Yeah.
'Cause
Storylines, and it feels like the only storylines outside of the belt have Britt Baker in them.
Britt Baker
And
included.
it's like, okay. Like, she lost the belt, which was a big deal, but then she immediately was on TV again, feuding with people, and it was just kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah, it's like, oh, you lost the belt, and
Yeah.
now you're already doing shit. Like, you should
Yeah.
be, like, recovering. Like,
Yeah.
that's how I feel like every title picture should be. Sorry.
No, you're good. And I feel like she stayed the same character. There was no twist, no more depth added.
Like, she
'Cause
didn't learn anything.
I feel like when wrestlers lose a belt,
Mhm.
that is opportunity for such a big storyline beat. You know? Like,
Especially with such a dominant champion, too.
yeah, she was champion for a while.
Yeah.
Like, she should be going crazy. She doesn't need to be going crazy, but something needs to change, and nothing changed. I think she's having some stuff back and forth with Jamie Hayter that I think they're waiting too long to pull the trigger on, because Jamie Hayter's getting real popular right now. I'm a hater for sure.
Oh, me too.
You know, she's awesome.
No doubt.
At first, so this was like an inkling when he was first on the scene in AEW, MJF, but then he's also blown that out of the water. He's fucking fantastic.
He's amazing. He's
Yeah.
great.
And it almost had a hint of Overrated when that work shoot stuff was happening where he was like, I want more money.
God.
And it was like, brother, wait. Wait till 2024. You're going to get a fat contract from anybody you want.
Yeah, dude.
Because he's
you're gonna be big.
fantastic.
And I feel like
Yeah.
now that money's going to lower a bit once he gets to 2024 because, like, he kind of already blew his load. It was like, hey, I want a bajillion dollars.
Yeah, he did it too early. Like, I was like, we're not going to be talking about you for 2 years straight
Yeah.
about how you want more money.
Like,
we're going to get bored.
Like, I somewhat trust MJF to keep it up and be like, yeah, I'm fucking great all the time. And,
Yeah.
like, that part of me is like, yeah, I want to trust that and be like, oh, he's great all the time. I always want to see him on TV. But then sometimes it's like an oversaturation of a product, like with the X-Men, like we were talking about earlier. It's like you have too much of them, oversaturation. You don't want to, like, too much sometimes isn't always good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that might be the case with MJF.
And I feel like with that, though, they are doing a good job by, like, not having him wrestle often.
Yeah.
Underrated.
Yes.
Currently.
Mm-hmm.
And I think part of this is because the Usos have both sets of tag team titles. Those Street Profits.
Oh my God.
And they keep teasing that they're going to break up.
I don't
But
want them
if
to.
they tagged forever, I think they should have beat the Usos.
I think they should still beat the Usos.
I think they should. Or, like, I love that the titles are, like, all on one team, but at the same time, I want the Street Profits as tag champs.
I want different stories.
Yeah.
But, like, also this one big story that's overlapping WWE right now is really cool.
The Bloodline.
The Bloodline. I think Sammy and KO are going to take them off him.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
probably what's going to
That's
happen.
going to be amazing.
And then...
Awesome
and
Theory.
ew. And then that's when you do, like, Street Profits take it off of KO and Sammy. Obviously, there's some stories in between there, but, like, I feel like that'd work. Yeah.
That would be a good feud, too.
Yeah, it'd be,
Fuck it,
be
we
fantastic.
ball.
Turn him heel.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Profits as heels, amazing. They kind of had a weird little heel moment for, like, months ago, maybe.
I think they're going to turn Bianca heel tonight. But I'll talk about that later.
I haven't. Bianca's been doing great.
She's
like,
amazing.
At first, I had a hint of, like, oh, she could be overrated because they put so much on her at one time.
Mm-hmm.
But she's fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, look, I'll say underrated.
Yeah.
She's great.
Yeah.
Like, she's been, like, what, multiple WrestleMania main events now?
Yeah.
She won the Rumble.
Yeah.
It's almost like she was underrated in NXT. Because
Yes.
they held her back for Shayna Baszler and then Rhea Ripley. And then fucking Charlotte Flair came along and fucked all that up too.
God.
But yeah, no.
I like those picks.
Good picks.
So
Thank you.
I'll tell both of. So I have a pick from WWE and AEW for both of my overrated and underrated.
I could have prepared that.
So overrated for WWE is Braun Strowman.
Oh, okay.
Monster
Okay.
Monster of all monsters. Fucking
Weird. I missed the Monster Among Men.
yeah.
Monster of all monsters, a little odd.
Well, who else is a fucking monster right now? Nobody. So it doesn't make sense.
Omos, they're gonna feud someday.
That's true. But yeah, the Braun Strowman, it's whatever. Don't really care for him. Just like, oh, he's a big guy. Like he went away for a bit, and when he was released, that lost all steam for me because I've also been keeping up with like control your narrative.
Yeah,
Not like keeping
that
up,
kind
but,
of
like,
was like, and now that he's back, I'm like, I'm happy, but I'm like, but he was in
control your narrative. Yep.
We have the same birthday also, so I
Really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, so that's a little soft spot in my.
For AEW, this is controversial. One of the greatest like performers, I'd say. Pac
As overrated?
as overrated.
Oh.
That may not hit everyone as much as it
Mm.
probably hits wrestling fans, but
I can see it though.
his character, I just don't, I don't like it, and I don't necessarily get it.
Mhm.
I haven't followed Pac since he was Neville,
Right.
So
So this is why I kind of see why you're saying this.
so I don't know everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like I just don't like Death Triangle
I
anyway,
don't either.
because it's just like, what the fuck is that team? Because you have Lucha Brothers and then another
Best
guy.
friends should have beat them.
Best friends should have beat them.
Come on now.
Oh my
It's
god,
a faction.
they just
They're
lost.
best friends.
That's what I'm saying. But it's OC versus Pac again. I really want.
Oh wow.
I want Cassidy to take the belt.
I
Like he
think he
tweeted
could.
enough. Period. And I'm like, oh, that's hard. That goes hard for Orange Cassidy.
That goes hard.
That goes hard.
Hard as fuck.
I'm hard as
You
fuck.
should paint an orange on your mural.
I might, cause he's a superhero to me.
Yes.
But yeah, those Braun Strowman and Pac, two very different characters, but like still my overrated. So my underrated. I'll go AEW first.
Okay.
Again,
Underrated. Okay.
underrated. Luchasaurus.
I like it.
Lu-
I like it.
I'm a big fan of
I
Luchasaurus.
like me some
Right now,
Luchasaurus.
right now he's in his Kane phase. I feel like.
Yes.
And I dig that because
Oh,
he can
yeah.
just come in, fucking
Murder.
be a dinosaur and murder whoever's in the fucking ring. Amazing, so good. Luchasaurus is a hot motherfucker,
Yes.
and like when he's with Jungle Boy, he can be so funny and so good. Like he's a good face and a good heel,
Mhm.
and he doesn't have to do much because he's a fucking dinosaur and he's been here for millions of years.
Yeah.
So that's my AW underrated. Chad Gable.
Oh, I love that answer.
I love Chad Gable.
Fantastic answer.
He should be a
Gosh
fucking
darn.
champion right now. He's been doing good stuff.
Yeah, he's
Chad
done-
Gable's been on both shows. That man is a workhorse for doing
Yes.
Raw and SmackDown.
Braun versus Otis.
Oh my god. Oh, they were
5-star match.
But yeah, just him as a wrestler,
Mhm.
great stuff. Good
Yeah.
stuff. So just to run down your underrated and overrated.
I need to put you on some Alpha. Oh, not Alpha Academy. American Alpha
Alpha.
matches. Fantastic run. Okay. Anyway, yeah. So overrated.
I'll ask
wait.
you what happened to his partner.
Oh, you want me to say mine?
Yeah. You say your
Oh,
over and under.
okay.
I'll say my over and under.
Britt Baker, DMD, Doctor Britt Baker, DMD, Street Profits, underrated.
Yes. My overrated Pac, the bastard, and Braun Strowman for over, and then under Chad Gable and Luchasaurus.
And Kyle just sat up off the
'Cause-
couch because he knows the wrestling bit is over. I hope you.
Did
your
you have a
voice
good
warmed up?
perusal?
I did.
Good.
I watched a baby bird, I watched a mama bird make a nest and lay a bunch of eggs, and then watch those eggs grow in a speed through video on Twitter. And I feel enlightened.
All right, so DC characters. I guess I'm going first.
Yeah.
Since Mason went first for wrestling.
Yeah.
So, overrated, probably controversial. Batman.
I get it.
Everything in DC right now is just Batman.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Yeah, no, it's from yawning.
Do you want tissues?
No.
Okay.
I wanna-
Sounds good. We'll keep
I
going.
want to just plunge through it. For those who can't see, which is everybody listening, I'm
Except
crying.
for Mason when he's listening back to this.
Yeah, I'm just crying. I'm thinking about that bird I watched.
Mother Nature's beautiful.
Mother Nature is fucking amazing.
But yeah, everything is Batman right now, and just no other superheroes have anything to do in DC that is outside of Batman.
Yeah, and to be fair, like Batman is like they have so many stories going on with Batman. They don't really do anything to change his character up that much. Honestly, I think it would be so interesting if Batman just went to therapy and became a pacifist. I genuinely think, like, if they made a story arc where Batman's like, you know what, maybe I can self-heal. And grow from this and become, like...
Batman goes to therapy.
No, there's a TV...
He'd put him in a coma.
Well, yeah,
Batman
he doesn't
doesn't kill
murder.
He wouldn't kill him, but he would definitely make him not able to walk ever again.
Yeah.
On accident.
On accident.
Sure.
Yeah, but I completely see where you're coming from. He is he's gotten the most movies, he's gotten the most TV shows. He's the number one selling character in comics. You see him everywhere.
Number 2, Spider-Man's a thing.
Oh, that's true. Spider-Man is a thing. I guess in DC though.
Yeah,
I guess in number 1 in that. I know Moon Knight actually beat him 1 week.
Hulk beat him 1 week too.
That's right.
Yeah.
I remember when that was going on. But yeah, no, I can't really disagree. I think Batman's a cool guy sometimes, but also, it's the same shtick.
Yeah. Now this is gonna be semi-hypocritical because they're very similar in character.
Oh my fucking god, who are you about to say?
A lot of you probably have not heard of him. If you have, you've heard of the modern character version of him because he's getting a movie. Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
Ted Kord, Blue Beetle.
Yeah.
So, for those who don't know, which is
Mason.
And
only Mason.
I've seen a little bit of screenshots of the movie being made.
So that's...
I still don't know who the fuck.
There's 2... Well, technically there's 3 Blue Beetles, but nobody gives a shit about the first.
Underrated?
Yeah, this is for Underrated.
Batman, okay.
So, for those who don't know, there's 3 Blue Beetles, technically. We don't give a shit about the first one. The second one, Ted Kord. He's basically Batman with less family trauma, and he has a Blue Beetle theme instead of a Bat theme.
Yeah.
And he's just, like, a cool guy. Like, he hangs out with Booster Gold, and Booster Gold is just some... That's the point of Booster Gold.
Amazing porn star name.
That's
Like
the
male
point of
porn
Booster
star.
Gold.
Are you kidding?
So Booster Gold is a character from the future. He comes back to the modern day and he's like, I'm a fucking nobody. I want to be a superhero. And he wants to be like, he was thinking like Booster Star and Gold Star for his name. So he's like, my name's Booster Gold. And the guy who was announcing his name is like, Booster Gold, everyone. And it's just like, oh, and he's like, oh, that fucking sounds like a porn name.
Oh,
Sounds
no
like a fucking... But yeah, Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are like best buddies and they fucking hang out and they're super chill. And I just like, I feel like I relate to Blue Beetle just because he's kind of like just a guy who...
He's just a guy.
He's just a fucking guy.
He's just a guy.
He's just a guy. And
You're just a guy.
But still, Blue Beetle I just feel like is a cool guy who's just a less traumatized Batman. I'm happier. I can just have a beer with my friend and we can chill.
Right.
And that's just why I like him.
Okay, for my overrated DC character, I wonder, I mean, going off of my Marvel, who is it going to be? It's Superman.
Superman.
Whoa!
Of course you'd say Superman.
Of course I'd say Superman. Wow.
I think they should do a unique concept where they make Superman bad.
Oh, yeah, if they make Superman bad?
I've never seen that happen before.
I've never been done before.
Sounds like such an original idea, you guys.
Yeah, I feel, okay, here's the thing with Superman. I feel like any idea that they have for him, just whether it's making him evil, whether it's making him super good, whether it's killing him off, they've run every single story into the ground.
Yeah.
They've beat the dead horse. They've done it. I'm not saying Superman can't be interesting. I'm just saying, he's
run his course.
He's run its course, bro.
There was a recent Superman story which I think you need to check out. It's called. It's very recent. It's by shit. I forget his name, but it's like Superman, up and away, and it's basically like this little girl from Earth gets kidnapped by like aliens. And Superman has to like go into space and find her. And like Superman not on Earth is super cool, but like Superman on Earth is played out because he's been here since the fucking 30s.
And he's like, Lois Lane, I love you. Oh, you're dead. Wonder Woman?
Oh, this is a new universe. Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman? I don't know. He's either the way he's written, he's either like I'll admit like he's like somewhat charming and like cool, or he's just boring and stoic and a god, or he's just evil, or I'm so over Superman. And like it like with his entire power base being like that he's like unbeatable until like a giant crystal monster comes and kicks his ass.
It's tough to write stories about Superman because if you have an unbeatable character, there really isn't anything at stake.
Yeah, and like how many times is his weakness going to be kryptonite till he overcomes it? I think they should do like, I don't know if this is a story, but I want Lex Luthor to just like come out with like a cell phone that's made out of like kryptonite secretly. So every time he tries to go to save someone, he's like, "Oh fuck,
you gotta give. That's a good idea for his.
You gotta give up your cell phone." And they're like, "I'm not giving up my cell phone.
Fuck you."
Are you gonna pay for another one? And he's like, "Well, no, I'm Superman. I work for a fucking newspaper in the modern day."
That doesn't exist. So overrated Superman.
Underrated. It was, dude. There are a lot of DC characters.
Well, they're not getting movies right now, so I feel like they're not as presented because fucking Batman is everywhere.
Everywhere, and it's like
even he's in the fucking Flash movie. Even Batman's in the Flash movie.
I know.
Like
you
can't keep him out.
So I will say there were a couple. There's like 2 Batman villains that I would love, but if we're going off of main characters, and I know he had a TV show at one point, but I don't care. I need more of him. Static Shock.
Oh yeah,
Static Shock, and I think he's gonna make a comeback soon. Like,
I feel like that's an example of properly rated.
Yeah,
because like you have the people that just like absolutely adore him and love him. And I think he's like on the, if there's like a scale,
right,
he'd be like in between underrated and rated. Because like you don't have enough of that.
You don't, and he's such a well-developed character. Like, if you watch the animated show from like the 90s and early 2000s, and like how he had to take on like the Justice League, how he went into the future and met Batman Beyond, like they got to do so much with his character. They did a lot with like some racial issues with his best friend, how his best friend had like racist parents basically. And it was just like there was so much to do with this character, and he's kind of like, he's kind of like Spider-Man in the sense that he goes to high school.
Yeah, he's a young kid trying to deal with just being a young kid.
Yeah, and he other than like Batman, sometimes he just kind of works alone. And like it was cool like having Batman as his mentor, but I just feel like he was underrated. If we're going for underrated, Kite Man.
Kite Man's overrated. Right now, in the span of how things are right now, Kite Man, fucking, he had one good story.
It's okay. Yeah, and that's why he's underrated. He needs more good stories. I think Dominic, I don't shut up about Kite Man because I want to make a I want to make a TV show about him.
Everyone loves their characters.
I want to make a TV show about him, and I tell Dominic every day, and I think he's just sick of hearing me. Unless Dominic's on like a weird part of the internet where it's like, Kite Man.
Oh, dude, I'm on the Kite Man forum.
You're on the Kite Man forums.
Like, on Kite Man Reddit, where it's just me hating, just like, why do we keep on fucking talking about this guy?
It's just
Why do we talk about real things? Like Blue Beetle.
No, literally. But I think that one story really just did something. For those who aren't familiar, in the Batman comic, The War of Jokes and Riddles, his name is
Charlie Brown.
His name is Charlie Brown, which is so good, dude. What I love about him is he is the man that always loses. He is the character that always loses and still has to push forward. And he's ridiculous, and he flies on a big kite, and no one takes him seriously, but he has to take himself seriously. And the reason he dresses up as a big kite is because the Riddler poisoned his son's kite. And so, as his son died, in honor to his son's legacy, he dresses up as a giant kite. He's like
up as kites because his son loves kites, and his son is dead now.
Yeah, and it's so funny because he's like a reverse Batman. He's poor. He's not good at anything. He dresses up as something that revolves around trauma, and instead of like kicking ass, he gets his ass kicked. He's perfect to me. And I think if Kyle Kiesler made a TV show about it, I think it would be spectacular. But he is my most underrated character.
As
for
Kite
sure.
Man says, hell yeah.
Hell yeah, dude! Oh.
I know some stuff about Marvel. I know even less about DC. I will say Superman and Batman also make me money. Princess Party #1 and Princess Party #2.
You were Superman a lot at Princess Party #1.
#1, you were the only Superman.
Yeah, they
really.
Yeah, they booked me. I think that's true.
Yeah.
They booked me I was.
Cause I remember doing like a party with like 5 superheroes in it, and I was the Hulk, and we had to like fight each other. Like we had a whole choreographed thing. Amazing.
Holy shit! But I remember that party. Was I Superman at that party?
You were Superman at that party.
Weirdly, that's not fucking right.
Because we had to like fucking fight. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But,
that whole place is messed
I
up.
was gonna say Superman and Batman are so iconic to me. I can't even be like underrated or overrated. I remember I did a Superman party, and I was working with some girl who was, I think, Supergirl maybe.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like a meet and greet situation. So people would come up to snap a picture and like leave. So we were chatting for a bunch, and she thought I was like a literal 30-year-old man. Mind you, I'm like 17 at the time. Joker, overrated.
I agree. I can agree with that.
I will say overrated before Joaquin Phoenix's Joker, like long before Joaquin Phoenix's Joker came out, because of Heath Ledger's Joker.
I feel like he's
overrated.
oversaturated.
Yeah, and now he's kind of, people love him, like,
that's
quirky,
probably the
haha,
better
Joker
word for
meme,
it.
and I'm just kind of like, there's a lot of Joker going on. I'm excited for the sequel though, if it happens.
We probably could have called this episode oversaturated.
Yeah,
Underrated.
Even runtime wise, no, but underrated. I have 2.
Oh, okay.
I love me, the Riddler.
Yeah.
Underrated.
There aren't enough
He
Riddler
was
stories.
fantastic in
like.
the Batman movie.
Yeah.
And then what? It was Batman Forever.
Yeah.
Jim
Damn
Carrey's
straight
Riddler.
it was.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
And I like how you can
like
do it in different ways. Like those are two opposite
Very,
sides of
very
how you
different.
can do the
Yeah.
Riddler, and I
Yeah.
like it. And now this is one based off of the movies. I don't know, I'm good comic book wise.
Right.
Bane. I liked Bane in the third.
As
What
of-
was it? The Christopher Nolan Batman movie?
You did.
I did.
That's a
was
that's
actually-
a rare opinion.
Yeah. Oh, I'm Bane. I'm going to collapse this football stadium.
That was a cool scene because the guy was like running and he didn't know
I
until
thought-
like he got a touchdown.
I thought Bane was cool. And if Batista wants to play Bane, he should fucking play
he should
Bane.
play Bane. Dave,
There's a story I've heard of Batista being like going in and being like, I want to play Bane, and they're like, okay, we don't have any fucking movies planned for Bane. Badass.
No, I think that's funny because it's like there's so many actors right now that are like understanding that comic book movies are just where the money is, and they're like, I want to play this character, and everybody's like, well, we're not there yet.
yeah,
so.
we're not making that character. What
Yeah,
are you talking
they're
about?
waiting for me to be
This is
Cyclops.
what I look like, though.
and they're waiting on me to be a big old name so they can put me into X-Men.
Oh,
Dude,
fucking me too.
Guys, Mason was cast as Reed fucking Richards, and that's what.
I'm dreaming of Cyclops.
I'm dreaming of Cyclops. I was gonna say, I hate the
Kyle,
X-Men,
you
but
dreaming of
Cyclops
Cyclops?
though.
I was thinking James Marsden.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
Motherfucker was a hop.
You can be.
If I can be in a Marvel movie, and then that leads me to being in a movie like Hop with Sonic the Hedgehog,
You could be in Sonic 3.
I'm
I was
set
gonna
for
say.
life. Set for life.
That's.
So yeah, those are my DC ones.
I like it.
I like it.
I guess so. I'll go and say mine. Overrated. Shit, who would I have? Overrated Batman. Underrated Blue Beetle. Ted Cord.
Overrated Superman. Underrated Static Shock and Kite Man.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And then I got the Joker, overrated, and underrated Riddler and Bane.
I like it.
Who the
Wait,
fuck
all
is
villains?
Kite Man?
All-
Yeah, I picked villains for
I
some
like it.
reason. I looked at the list of like DC heroes, and all I fucking knew was Batman, Superman,
Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman,
Woman, yeah.
Aquaman.
Man. Right.
Yeah.
Fuck it, Aquaman overrated. Whatever, it's fine.
Now we're at the
We're at the TV show.
Yeah,
we're at the finale-ish.
I got nothing written in for this, so I might just listen to what you guys say, and then it might spark some.
That's okay.
Opinion.
So do you want to go you, me, and then Mason? Do you want to go last, Mason?
Sure.
Okay. So for overrated TV show, I have Schitt's Creek.
You're gonna hate my answer, by the way. I'm very excited for you to listen to it. But Schitt's Creek, I kind of agree with.
Okay.
I wonder what your overrated TV show is.
What do you?
I don't know.
Before I say it, like when we get to me, I want you to guess.
We'll see, I guess.
I think I'm getting an idea now. You're saying overrated?
Dude,
Yeah.
Schitt's Creek, listen, I haven't watched it fully, but like I just can't get past it because I just don't like I don't like the characters.
Yeah.
I want them all to lose. I want them all to suffer more. Like, because they're so rich and snobby, I just like, and I get that that's like the appeal, like, haha,
That's the gimmick.
That's the gimmick. They're rich and snobby, and they're learning to be better people, but they don't learn fast enough for me. And I just genuinely am like, you know what? What if you all, like? What if like this entire?
What if you all drop dead
What if you all drop dead? I would not care.
in this little town that you guys bought as a joke?
Another, I have two shows. Another TV show that I really didn't like was Our Flag Means Death.
I haven't seen that one.
It was another show where it's like a comedy, but all the characters are just so annoying and unlikable. Like, if you have an entire show where all of your characters are just annoying and like not great people, then like I just can't vibe with it. Like, I'm not rooting for anybody.
Yeah.
If you all drop,
If everyone's unlikable, then it's not a likable show.
yeah, and like the whole gimmick is that the one pirate is too nice to be like a bad pirate, and he's got to be friends with, you know, Blackbeard, and Blackbeard's gonna teach him. But like I was like, oh my god, he started to annoy me. Like, he started to fucking annoy me. I was like, oh my god, I want you to get stabbed in the face. Like, I couldn't with that. And I saw so much of like everybody being like, this is so funny. And I was like, I have not, like, I will say Schitt's Creek, I didn't watch a lot of. Our Flag Means Death, I was like waiting for something to happen. I made it to episode 8 before I eventually...
The whole season?
No, it's 10 episodes.
Oh.
So I didn't get to the finale, but I was just like, man, it's not funny to me.
I get it.
So those are my two overrated TV shows.
Can I say something about Schitt's Creek real
Yeah,
quick?
go for it.
So I watched all of Schitt's Creek.
You did?
I did.
Did you watch it with an ex?
No.
Oh, you watched it?
I watched it by myself. I did something by myself.
Wow. And
Good for you.
guys,
You know
I
what?
just
Yeah.
want everybody to know on the podcast right now, Dominic cannot make it through TV shows.
Oh my god, I'm awful. Funny thing, I animation I cannot get through. But funnily enough, I also have 3 picks. My 3 picks are all animation.
You are why HBO Max is
For
deleting
overrated?
shit.
I have 1 overrated and 2 underrated, and they're all animation.
Okay.
But so yeah, Schitt's Creek. It is, yeah, like the gimmick is like, oh, they're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
They eventually do get better, but I really just watched it for noise. Like I tried to sit down and watch it at first, and it was just like impossible.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I agree. It's just like these people are too fucking snobby. They're annoying, and yeah, there are some funny bits, but it was just noise.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, it's fine.
It's funny because people who I talk to who like the show are like, yeah, I like watched it all the way through, and now it's my favorite like background noise show, and I'm like, that's what it is.
Because it's noise.
It's noise.
Which is what this is.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're so not annoying. We've been talking for how many hours?
2 hours and 24 minutes.
Oh yeah, no, we're not annoying.
Ooh.
I know, right?
Wow, it feels like it.
You're fucking right. I'm fucking slogging. But so yeah, sorry. Go ahead with your.
For my most underrated TV show, this will come as no surprise
What is
to
it, Kyle?
anybody who fucking knows me. Doom Patrol. It is probably the one show I don't shut up about. It's the one show I try to get people on.
Another comic property, a DC comic property, Doom Patrol. Wow.
Doom Patrol, yeah. But like it's honestly like if I have to go to like my top 3 favorite like comic book TV shows, it was Doom Patrol, but it goes The Boys, Doom Patrol, and then classic Daredevil.
Oh, yeah.
Like those are what I hold as like the top 3 what a superhero TV show should be on.
I have Boys and Daredevil up there. You haven't finished Daredevil, so I'm surprised Daredevil's even up there.
Well, okay, the first 2 seasons are great, and I will get past the first episode and eventually watch it until Disney Plus revokes it, and then you can't find it anywhere. But I just think, like, I've never seen a show, like, develop so well of these characters that have powers that are fucking useless, basically. Yeah. But, like, you have to overcome that as well as, like, they all start off as very, very shitty people.
I think that's why I don't like the show.
See, but like it's one of those shows where because they've all like I feel for them because like they all got what was coming for them.
Right.
Like they like where Schitt's Creek, they're like bad people and like yeah they're in like a shitty environment. Like Doom Patrol, they're like literally handicapped and you're like you like kind of feel sorry for them and they're like learning to be better, and then like so much great stuff happens towards the end with like twists and turns that I won't spoil for anybody.
Right.
But it's really a show about bettering yourself and like group, like they like kind of go with group therapy, and I think it's really great. And I wonder if it's Dominic's overrated show.
It is not.
It's a cartoon that I probably recommended you, isn't it?
A lot of people have recommended me this cartoon. Do you have one more guess? Do you have a guess?
Primal?
No. Primal's a good show.
Okay.
I like Primal.
Yeah, Primal's good.
Have you seen Primal?
No.
It's on HBO Max. Do you have HBO Max?
Nope.
That's cool.
My parents don't understand streaming services. We have cable.
Dude, you guys.
Kyle and I like share an HBO
we
Max.
share.
If you want a 3-way, to be even less money.
Oh my
My
god.
parents they can't imagine the concept of not having cable and having just streaming services. It's almost like they don't get how that makes any sense.
That's how my parents
know
are,
what I
but that's
mean?
also because I feel like all of our parents are like born where it's like
Yeah.
the news.
Yeah.
You watch it.
Yeah, it's like
TV is on cable. That's how it is.
Yeah, like if you have nothing going on, you just put on the news.
Mm-hmm.
We're like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, no, that's my dad's always watching the news. My mom's always watching the news.
Yeah, my dad's always watching Fox News.
But like our generation, we just don't trust any news.
Yeah, so we're just like, why watch it?
Yeah,
Like I'll get a notification.
You're just trying to steer
my
me in a
watch.
certain direction.
And then if I need to know the weather, I just look it up.
Yeah, literally.
Your parents are like, oh, I watched the weather this morning. It's gonna be cold, and it's like,
Oh, I
yeah,
looked it up
I
on my
glance
phone.
every
It's
time
the
I
first
go
thing
out.
I looked at when I woke up this morning.
Yeah.
I had to pick a fit for today.
Yeah, literally.
So my overrated, Adventure Time.
Oh,
I agree.
Oh my God! I didn't see that coming.
Did you hear that smack sound? That was me dapping up Dominic.
Oh,
because
I did not
Here's
see
the
that
snap.
coming.
What the fuck, guys?
Holy
this
smokes.
that's like my comfut show.
That's a twist.
That's
I didn't.
twist,
I
huh?
thought you would like Adventure Time.
I did when I was like 12.
you guys haven't
I-
watched.
Then I was
Okay.
like, this is a nerd show.
I'll-
As a nerd, I can be
I'll-
like, this is just
You
a
watch
nerd
wrestling!
show. I know.
guys, I'll say it. You guys don't like the show because you don't smoke enough weed. Okay.
That might be true.
It's there's literally no show I love to like get high to and have no thoughts about than Adventure Time. Because it's the perfect show to hit. Yeah, I know. I get it. I'm the stoner here, but
It's okay.
But you take an edible or you hit your pen or a joint, and then you just put on a show about a dog and a boy and like a magical candy ice kingdom, and they just do weird shit. And
You sound high explaining that. Just like
I will hit
dude,
dude, like, you
just
don't
like,
understand.
It's a fucking stretchy dog and a little boy fucking in this candy like world with like an old fucking ice dude and vampires.
I also like here's the, and I'll say this, it does take up until like season 4 or 5 for the show to like find like a more mature, grounded like take, because the first like I can't watch the first 2 seasons.
I was gonna say, yeah, like when I first like glanced at it, it seemed just like Cartoon Network fodder, where it was just like, oh, a thing happens, oh, another thing happens. Like it's
That's exactly what I think about Adventure Time.
It's not
just
it's
a Cartoon Network show. I don't really.
Yeah, it's not. What's the one where it's like the story continues? Is that episodic?
Yeah, episodic.
Yeah, it wasn't episodic, and I have done research on it, like not
Yeah.
research, but like I've seen YouTube videos where it's been like, oh, here's the fucking story, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
It was because when it was first picked up, they weren't expecting it to get very far. So the first 3 seasons are a lot of let's meet these characters and let's go on a silly random adventure, quote unquote Adventure Time. And then like season 4, 5, 6, I think there's like 10 seasons.
Yeah.
But then it starts to like all those characters that you saw like a glimpse of.
They get important.
They have more character arcs. Like the villains start to become more and more menacing. The show starts to get crazier and crazier because it's a cartoon with like no boundaries. But I understand if like you were to just like with no perspective go into like the first 3 seasons and be like, oh my god, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, like just watching the first like couple. I think I watched like somewhat into season 2, and then I'm just like, yeah, this is.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that.
And that's when I watch a YouTube video explaining to me what the story is. Still not convinced. All right, my underrated.
Fuck you. Fuck off.
I'm sorry. No, I'm more into episodic structure anyway.
I get it.
So that's really why cartoons don't do it for me, because most of the time it's just like, yeah, something to distract your kid over. Like that's really why I don't dig cartoons. Anyway, here's my 2 cartoon underrated shows. First one, Ben 10.
Oh, I love it. Great choice.
I don't think anybody talks enough about the original Ben 10, like the OG fucking.
We could talk Ben 10.
Oh, we can fucking.
could
talk
I know
about
Ben 10.
He's on my wall.
I used to have almost all the 10 in like figure form.
Oh, I had a few. I had like
I
Raph.
had the
Figures was in
watches.
the beginning for me. I had figures back.
I had
in
some
the
of the
day.
watches. Ben 10 Ultimate
Oh, I had a
Alien,
watch. Fuck yeah,
so
you had to have a
good.
watch.
Oh, you can get a watch on your fucking Apple Watch. Like, there's an app for that.
Of
I'm
course.
gonna buy an Apple Watch now. Just
I
to do
might
that.
literally.
it's fun. But just like how it starts as them going on a road trip with a little kid superhero just being like, oh yeah, I'm a little kid being a superhero, I'm fucking saving the world, but I'm also learning lessons. Like, that's fun because it's just like a little kid being stupid, and he doesn't learn anything because he's a 10-year-old boy, and he's just like, I want to play video games. And him being like 10 different characters, 11 at some points, just seeing Ben 10 as like it evolved. Because it went from Ben 10 to Alien Force to Ultimate Alien. I didn't really watch Omniverse or the fucking reboot, but
yeah.
I only got to the point where he was like a teenager and he had the green jacket.
yeah,
That was
I
Ultimate.
wanted that jacket
That-
so
that-
bad.
Dude,
back
he
in
was
the
like
day.
dripped up. I was like, damn, Ben. I was like,
yeah,
you look
like
cool as
I think
hell.
everyone wanted that fucking jacket.
Yeah.
But 3 different series where you see that character evolve is dope. Just like so cool to see. My second, the Dragon Prince.
I have no idea. What
Oh
you're talking about.
my god. I haven't seen it, but I know that the guy from Avatar
Yeah.
voices it.
It's a good series. Like, it's made for kids.
Right.
Like, it's made for a younger audience, but it's still like
I had no idea you watched that.
my ex-girlfriend showed it to me.
Which one? Second removed or first removed?
First removed. If it was second removed, I would have said Haley Rivard.
First removed or Haley Rivard?
First removed or Haley Rivard. But yeah, the Dragon Prince is like, it's a weird avatar. So Avatar has like, it's the benders, it's like fire, wind, air, whatever. But with the Dragon Prince, it's specific magic, and then it's also like elves. It's like Dungeons and Dragons classic,
Right.
where it's like you have elves and you have dragons and stuff like that. But it's this story about the humans and the elves are kind of like fighting because there was this dragon stone thing that the humans stole or whatever, because humans are bad, and it turned out to be an egg, and the last like dragon birthed this egg, and so it's the last dragon.
Oh, it's
And-
like Game of Thrones.
and it's the
It's
Dragon Prince.
literally Game of Thrones.
The series is basically the journey from getting the egg to the mother, and it's a little kid who's technically the king now, his stepbrother, because right.
What are you doing, step bro?
Yeah.
Fighting a dragon?
Fighting a dragon.
Sus.
Learning magic.
Fighting monsters, my man. Fighting monsters.
What's that from, Mason?
That's from She Kills Monsters. That will be at the OWC from October 26th to 30th.
Maybe you should watch this show for some
For some inspiration,
character
just like
study.
some like
I probably should. It probably would.
modern fantasy.
Yeah.
Damn.
But it's just like super cool because like you get the contrast where it's like, oh, elves and humans hate each other, but they have to travel and get to safety while also being hunted by elves and humans. And it's just fun because it's just like a little kid series where it's getting one thing to the next, and I just enjoy it. I just think it's fun. Oh, the Dragon one is on Netflix, so if anyone wants to watch it, the Dragon Prince Netflix, fucking good show. Watch that shit.
Wow.
No.
Well, Mason, do you have any...
Mason, 2 hours and 40 minutes into this podcast.
We're going to get it under 3, okay?
I don't know. We have our last segment of us versus everyone we talked about, which we can simply just be like, we lose.
That's what I'm thinking. I'm like, to wrap it up, I'm like, we fucking lose. There's no way.
I think we just do the underrated people.
We're still losing.
We're still fucking losing here. Right?
Yeah.
But, so...
We got Batman in there.
So this will be an interesting one. I'm going to try and go quick. Overrated.
Yeah.
This was one I thought of before Dominic inspired me to have another one because I have 2 now.
Oh, shit.
This was a show that I watched it when I was like a kid for like the first 2 seasons, and then like around season 5 I hopped back into it during middle school and then immediately didn't care. Huh. And the fact that it went on for as long as it did, I don't care. The Walking Dead.
Good.
Yep. I agree.
I actually, dude, while we were, like, I was on Twitter while we were on the podcast, and they're having a spin-off series. They're having a bunch of spin-offs.
Oh, my God.
But it's The Walking Dead spin-off.
Oversaturation.
Dead City, starring Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Lauren Cohan. And
Maggie and fucking...
Maggie, yeah.
Maggie and Negan.
And I think they're having another one called Daryl.
Yeah, they're having one called Daryl, and then they're having a Michonne and Rick movie.
Yeah. So,
Oversaturation.
Yeah.
And too long.
Well, here's the thing with...
It's just zombies.
Well, it's just because when you go and do a comic series, and the comic that you're doing a series on goes on forever,
and then it ends, and then you're still going.
Yeah.
And you're not adapting the story anymore.
No, that's weird. Yeah.
You're just like, well, I mean, what else can the zombies do?
But the entire story is just repeating old stories.
Yeah.
Because it's like, oh, there's a nice village with nice people. Ooh, but they're bad.
Oh.
And I can tell you that happens when they're at the prison. That happens when they're they're in the city. That's
the other city.
the other city that they're in.
And so the real message is that people are the real monsters.
Yeah, we're the
and
real
they're gonna
zombies.
beat that into you again and again.
He even says, we're the Walking Dead. Rick says, we're the Walking Dead.
Rick
hilarious.
says...
I know it does. It was so... I laughed when he said it.
Rick says, it's walking time. And then he, like, morbs.
Into a zombie.
It's Walking Dead time.
It's walking...
We're going to be Walking Dead after this.
That's a good one.
So this is in the same vein as Adventure Time. To me, it's just a Cartoon Network show, and I don't understand why people like it.
Can I guess it?
Yeah.
Regular show?
No.
Ooh.
I enjoy regular show. I'll say that.
I've gotten into it. It's background noise, but yeah.
Gravity Falls.
What?
Whoa.
What?
No, I disagree
What
entirely.
I don't give a shit about Gravity Falls. Maybe I just grew up early.
Dude.
Series trying
That's
to...
like, okay.
I don't give a shit.
What the fuck? No.
And I liked the show at first.
What did you
The
not like
the
about
two
it?
characters reminded me of me and my sister because they both
Yeah.
have brown hair, and it's a boy and a girl. And then I didn't care anymore. I didn't care.
No,
I don't care.
That one, it's like
that's-
short enough to where you can like actually
long
watch
is
it
it?
fully
It's
through.
2 seasons.
Is it?
That's
I
it?
thought it was 3.
No, it's 2. It's three of the books, but 2 seasons, and it's episodic. Like it goes
Yeah.
somewhere.
I didn't care.
And season 2 is great. Like season 2,
The end of season 2, yeah.
Wow.
just the entirety of season 2. But
I get that because I didn't watch it when it was coming out, I didn't.
watch it
I
either.
I watched
caught
it
up with
when
it
was
after.
coming out, and I was like a child, and I was like,
Oh.
Yeah, I caught up with it afterwards, and I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I feel it's a show that you gotta watch in its entirety. I
Yeah.
feel like because
Okay.
I watched it from beginning to end. I watched it with I watched it with
You're not gonna watch it from the beginning.
Well,
of it.
I'm gonna put that on my bucket list. I'm gonna watch.
Well, you got Disney.
Yeah, like you watched Civil
you
War.
got Disney Plus.
No.
Oh, you don't.
Yeah, like you watched Civil War 10 years after it came out.
Yeah, Peacock for WWE.
For WWE.
Of like all of the cartoons that you could have said, and it's Gravity Falls. Like that's insane.
So this will be funny. My underrated pick is also a cartoon.
Okay,
Oh.
I feel like I might have mentioned it in front of you guys before.
sure.
Underrated pick. Teen Titans Go.
I've heard that,
Did I
though.
stutter? Teen Titans Go. You guys didn't pop like you for the Gravity
I can
Falls
see. So I'm looking
Okay.
I'm looking at the audio feed. I can see a big like chunk of silence right there.
one. So a lot of people, when I mention Teen Titans Go, they go, "Fuck you, Mason, you piece of shit. Teen Titans is better." And yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
haven't
at the
seen it.
same
That's
time,
the point of Teen Titans
apples
Go.
to oranges. Teen Titans Go as like a child's cartoon where they fuck around. And also, it's the same voice actors, if I'm
It
not
is.
mistaken. And
Which
they're
is
having so
hilarious.
much fun
Yeah.
Yeah.
making bank. And I there was a moment in time where like I was just watching Teen Titans Go, and I was like, this is fucking hilarious. Because for people, did you watch Teen Titans growing up?
No.
Yeah,
So I
No.
did.
I did.
And for us watching Teen Titans growing up, it's characters we already know,
Right.
but fucking around. Like Robin is hilarious.
You know what? I
Because
think
he's such a cunt in Teen Titans Go, which he is, and it makes so much sense.
isn't it just like over exaggerated like
it's insane.
their characters in like
Yeah.
Teen Titans?
And it's so funny.
I genuinely like some of the funniest clips I've watched where it's just like a segment. It's from Teen Titans Go,
My point.
and it's
My case in point.
it's one of those things. 'Cause
I've heard it. I just haven't watched it.
I heard that the movie's got a 95%. It's
I haven't
like
even seen the movie yet.
dude,
That got me hyped
dude,
now.
the movie,
My
the
lane.
movie, like the amount of jokes that they make are great. From the clips that I've seen, I've like laughed really hard watching like Teen Titans like go to the movies.
The
clips.
fucking waffle episode just turns it off for me. Where Beast Boy and Cyborg just say waffle the entire episode.
Are you serious?
It's early
Oh
on
my
in the
God.
show.
There's this one episode where they like some character like deletes like gets rid of sound, so then they have to like remake up sound effects for things. So fucking funny. There's
Meta,
one
meta
where
jokes
they-
like that are funny.
There's
to me.
one where
Yeah.
like Ninja Turtles show up, but they're not the Ninja Turtles, but they're obviously the Ninja Turtles. I don't even know how they got away with that episode, but it's so fucking funny.
That's-
Who the fuck owns Ninja Turtles?
I think Cartoon Network.
well
No,
then.
Nickelodeon. It
Oh.
was always
Oh, they do?
It's on Paramount
yeah.
Plus if you're
What the
trying to
fuck?
watch any of the.
Crazy.
Paramount should fucking sell their shit. Just so then SpongeBob isn't on Paramount Plus.
We all ended up picking
Bullshit.
TV shows.
Well, yeah. Well, it's just easier.
Yeah.
There's
Fuck a movie.
too many.
Overrated movie? Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Underrated movie. Zack
Snyder's Justice League.
Let's put this baby to rest.
um,
I think we lose.
our famous segment, us versus the thing we were
We
talking about.
lose.
All the underrated characters, we lose. All the
lose.
overrated characters,
We lose.
We
We
could
lose.
say like, what if like we're fighting our own underrated? Like you guys are fighting your people, and I'm fighting people that I've picked.
I
And
still
I'm
lose.
fighting
instead
all
of
of the
us
X-Men.
losing,
I'm fighting
we
Superman.
can say, we can say,
Kryptonite.
like, how badly we get fucked up.
Ooh, that's a good one. I like that.
That's still a lot. You know, we're dead.
Yeah, we're
I get fucked up a lot just because all of the X-Men.
every dude. Yeah, you're
just the
fucked.
X-Men carry. Anakin, yeah, he's
Street
angry. He
Profits.
carries.
Yeah.
Pac
They fucked
Pac
up.
And
Pac
I-
would fucking
Especially if
just
it's
stomp me.
all,
Strowman,
especially if it's
Strowman.
all of them at once. Like you, what do you?
I say gauntlet style. Like, how far could we get?
I could fuck up Winter Soldier. I'll say it. I feel
Okay.
it. I feel it.
Well, you know what?
Gun to the back of the head.
Guys, Mason is a black belt.
The
Second.
Joker Joaquin Phoenix's Joker.
Okay.
I could fucking kick his.
Is
So-
it
so-
specifically Joaquin Phoenix's?
I'm gonna say yes.
So
okay, then
It
yeah.
should be Heath Ledger.
So
but
of
I'm gonna
all-
say Joaquin Phoenix.
all of our underrated characters, how many could we shoot him in the back of the head and win?
Kite Man, I could.
Kite Man,
The Street Profits. And
Street
Dr.
Profits.
Baker, and Pac and Chad Gable
Back.
and Luchasaurus and Braun Strowman.
Braun Strowman.
All
shit.
the wrestlers.
all the wrestlers, yeah, they're dead. I could definitely shoot Jake the Dog and Finn the Human in the back of the
I was
head.
gonna say Gravity Falls,
I
people
feel
too.
like
Jake would probably survive.
Jake
but
would literally like the bullet would go through and he'd be like, whoa, and he would just shoot back at you.
I think you're correct on that one.
Finn might die though.
Batman, if I'm convincing enough, I could shoot him in the back of the head. I could just like, Batman, open wide, bang.
Good luck with. I feel.
Well, I feel like I can convince him being like,
Good
"I'm
luck.
under distress, Joker." Like I could just laugh at him, and then he'd like come over to me, and then I just like,
Good luck convincing the world's greatest detective.
"Hey, 0 minutes of prep time, he's fucked." And then Anakin, I'd probably get force choke, but I could definitely shoot him if I had a sniper rifle in the middle of a baseball field.
Yeah, like if you were just like, okay,
Oh, but he has the force.
well, he wouldn't know. Like he wouldn't be. I don't know if he'd be able to react enough.
Well, if fucking Kylo Ren can stop a
Yeah.
blaster bullet, so I'm gonna say no, a gun can't take care of Anakin.
Right.
And the X-Men, fuck yeah, they're useless. I'll take a gun to all of them.
Yeah. Nope. And they're all dying.
And they're all dying except Magneto because he can control guns.
And except Wolverine.
Nah, he's dead. He's not an X-Men. He's an Avenger.
Okay.
So all of us. So could you kill all of yours with a gun?
No, I could only kill Kite Man pretty much.
That makes sense.
Who else was my under? Oh, well, I also wrote it down.
Yeah, just the underrated, or sorry, just the overrated, because fuck those guys.
Cad Bane would probably kick my ass. He's the world's greatest bounty hunter.
Yeah,
Penance?
I feel like he'd get power off of that. If he was Speedball, he'd fucking die. But
Yeah, Speedball.
but Penance, yeah,
Penance would be like, oh yeah, Pain.
he's like, oh yeah, cool.
Doom Patrol. Okay, maybe I could honestly kill the Doom Patrol. Like with prep time, I think I
What's
could.
the prep time? Yeah,
Fucking one is just a brain in a metal suit.
that's fine.
The other guy is just like bandages. I could probably
Light him on fire.
Yeah, I could light them all on fire.
Honestly, yeah,
I think the only one that would probably kick my ass is Crazy Jane.
that's
'Cause-
fine. Yeah, because she has like a billion superpowers.
Yeah, and they're all defense mechanisms, so I literally wouldn't be able to prepare for that.
Could you kill all your? Could you shoot everyone that you picked with a gun?
Probably not. Maybe. I would say Winter Soldier, yeah. Ghost Rider, probably. Joker, Ridley Rain, yeah, I could kill them. The Wrestlers, yeah. Teen Titans and Gravity Falls, over half. I'm confident.
It's funny because he doesn't know these characters, so he
know.
doesn't know like Ghost Rider.
Fuck it, we ball.
And with that, I think we are at the end of our episode.
We are definitely at the end.
It has been 2 hours and 51 minutes.
Ooh, I want to
Okay.
take a minute to say thank you guys. for
Thank
having
you.
me on
Thank you for
episode
coming.
2G.
Thank you,
2G
Mason.
episode. This has been good.
This
I'm
has
glad
been
we
fun.
did this.
Me too.
We'll talk about it later.
Ooh, yeah, sorry.
No, you're good. If you want to follow the podcast, we're on Apple Podcasts, obviously, but we're also on Twitter now. So OddWadPod at on Twitter.
I'm
and
gonna follow right now.
If you want to email us anything like suggestions, if you want to say that we're ass,
Please say that
Send
word.
hate mail.
Please
send
send
hate
hate
mail.
mail.
OddWadPod
Please.
at
Oddwad-
gmail.com.
Send
Oh,
us your
gosh.
greatest hate and greatest criticisms.
And definitely leave a review saying how good we are.
Yeah.
5
we-
stars.
we-
5 stars.
We already have 2 5-stars, which I'm very surprised about.
I
It's
think
me.
one of those
It's
is
me.
me.
It's literally me.
It's just us.
Then never mind. I haven't even left a 5-star rating.
Oh, I found it. They
Well,
follow
you
me
should.
already. Just follow me. It's fun.
Yeah, it's me. I mean,
That's-
it could be anybody. We hired a social media person. Anyway, thank you for listening. It has been a good time. Mason, we'll see you later.
Yeah.
Kyle, we don't know if you're on the next episode or not, so
Sweet.
we'll see Kyle in 2 weeks.
I'll leave my microphone with you.
Oh, good. I appreciate it. Thank you. And we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, well, let me put my social media in there.